All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, day two at the 153rd Annual NRA Annual Meeting and Convention here in Houston, Texas. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty this morning. We were doing a pre-recorded interview, and we unfortunately yanked a shitload of wires out of the computer. Had to figure out how to pull this stuff back up again, but we're back up and running a little bit late, but here we are nonetheless. We're currently awaiting the arrival of Michael Vasquez, the Dragon of the Southern Tier, New York's only truly independent journalist. He'll be joining us from the Bronx, New York, the home and district of the Honorable Alicia Ocasio-Cortez, or however the hell you say her name. I refuse to use those three initials and give her any sort of pulp fiction type favorability. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The bartender, that one over there with the economics degree. All right, so we did a couple of interviews earlier today that we actually managed to get full-size, working, although technically disabled, firearms in the booth here with us this morning. So we can show those to you, and we're going to do that separately because as soon as we show a live firearm here in the booth, the communists over at YouTube and their censorship committee love to kill the feed. So as soon as you show a gun, they kill it. So isn't that ironic?
Ironic.
Yeah, we have guns for self-defense, but anytime you talk about it, they kill us. So, oh well, what are you going to do?
Jared.
Who?
Guns and Gadgets.
Yeah. All right, lady, look, I'm gonna be honest. Dalen just pointed out another relatively famous, quote-unquote, influencer-style individual who's here over here at the group, and I tend to steer away from the clicks, so to speak. And I'm not talking about click from the mouse or the finger. I'm talking about those social clicks, those social orders that only certain people are worthy of conversation or acknowledgement. I don't do that. To me, it doesn't matter to me if you've got 20 million followers or if it's your first day behind a microphone or a camera. I'm going to treat you with the exact same amount of respect that you treat us. I believe if we're all in this industry, we're all supposed to be part of the same fight. We all deserve that little bit of respect from one another. And there are certain people in this industry that if unless, or of course, you've got two commas in your follower account, you don't mean anything. Because your opinions, your point of view, your thoughts, your efforts, your work, and all the contributions that you make are meaningless. So when it comes to certain people, I don't want to give them the time of day, but that's just me.
I get it.
Well, this is your third event now?
Third event, yeah. Well, second NRA is what we did NRA last year in GOA. So then, this is second NRA, third event.
Right. So this is the third event. Dalen is every ounce as passionate about this kind of stuff as I am, and even more so because he hasn't had an opportunity to be as jaded as I am. So he's still hopelessly optimistic about a lot of stuff.
You have to be glass half full kind of guy. I mean, you haven't seen anything just quite yet. I hear rumblings of it. I still try to be hopefully optimistic.
Well, that's what Dalen's going to give me, that good balance, because where I'm not a half glass full type of person. I'm just like, I need a smaller glass or I need more liquid. That's what I need. But I'm just a little bit more pessimistic on things because I see so many people in this industry are not in it for the preservation, protection, and promotion of our civil rights, but they're in it because they're looking to make bank on it. And it's like, I look at it, I look at groups like Moms Demand Action or Anytown USA, and they always talk a great game about how they're against gun violence and this and that and everything else. These organizations want nothing more than dead children. They live for it. They live for kids to get killed because they use it as their fundraising apparatuses. That's what their whole agenda is. They don't care about the legitimacy of security in the schools. Otherwise, they would be demanding that the schools have more secure procedures, would have people with firearms and trained, to counteract any kind of threat. But they're not about that. They're about waiting for kids to die so they could use it to raise money so that they can continue to live lavish lifestyles. If they were about security, they would be here. Right. They would be here talking to the people who live the lifestyle, who provide the security, who know what's best in order to harden facilities. They're not here. They're out somewhere trying to court politicians who want to take all those rights away from us. There are people in this industry that love seeing our freedoms be curtailed because they use that as the opposite side of the coin. They get to raise their money so they can file their lawsuits that they know are going to go for 7, 10, 12, 20 years. And where does all the money go? It's not all going to the lawsuits. A lot of it is going to administrative fees, lifestyles, and everything else. So you got to take things with a grain of salt. So when I see people that are in this industry and it's for the almighty dollar and not necessarily for the purpose of, not moving the goalpost, but knocking the goalpost down, I have reservations about those kinds of people. So, and a lot of those people, I don't want to have them on the show. If they want to come on the show, yeah, I'm never going to turn anybody away. The seat's open to anybody who wants to sit there. Barack Obama can come over there and sit there. I don't give a shit. I'll, interview him too. But it's just I would prefer that the people that we hear are the kind of people that are out there truly defending us because it's the right thing to do and not because it's the financial thing to do. But that's just me. Speaking of guys who defend things, there's a great show that you guys got to catch. It's called Riding Shotgun with Charlie, and the host of that show is over here stuffing his face, and I'm going to show him to you right over here. See, I get to pan my camera around. See, there's my friend Charlie. He's over in the booth right next to us. That's Charlie Cook, who I hope Charlie Cook can hear me saying his name so that he'll actually turn and say hello to the camera. Hello, Charlie. I was yelled at by my partner back home, don't have anybody on camera eating. All right, so there's our friend Charlie Cook from Riding Shotgun with Charlie show. He's got a great show. You guys should really check him out. He interviews the who's who in the industry, but he's also interviewing a lot of the who's gonna be in the industry. So you want to catch up and coming people, you got to check out Charlie's show. And our good friend Steve Bosick is standing outside the studio right here. Well, he just said no, he's not. But you know what? Let's have Steve jump in because Steve is the mad professor. He's always got something going on. He always got some idea that he's bringing to fruition to add excitement, enjoyment, and the expansion of Second Amendment rights. And Steve's been working on some stuff, and I want to have Steve tell everybody about the stuff that he's been working on. So, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Bosick.
Where's the camera?
The camera's that little tiny little box sitting right up there.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. How's it going?
All right, so Dalen jumped over to the other seat. I'm going to try and pan the camera over just a little bit more so I can get a little bit of all three of us. It's going to be tough. Yeah, because you're way the hell out there.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to sit on the guest.
Scooch in.
Yeah, please.
Scooch in. I'm the big fat one here, and I'm scooched. All right, so Steve. Oh
yes.
Lori says hello, Steve. Boca.
Hey, Lori, what's going on? We'll see you next week. I'll be up for the grand opening.
All right, so hold on, I got private chat. So, Steve, do me a favor, give us a lowdown, the rundown on the latest project that is bouncing around the head of Steve.
Sure. So, and this has been in the works for a while. Of course, everybody that's familiar with Polymer 80 knows, unfortunately, kind of the blow that the home building market took in the last couple of years. I mean, really, it goes back to 2021. But the kind of definitive ruling from the Supreme Court came out last summer. And so we need to have a response. And the response that I have is I'm going to be bringing a 3D printer to market that comes preloaded with files. So you don't have to know anything about 3D printing. All you got to do is put the printer together, load the filament in, and then select what size block you want, and then hit print.
Right. Now, for the people that are unaware of 3D printing like the people in Congress, you don't just get a whole gun out of the printer.
No.
All right. So you have to explain to people, all right, when you're done printing your components, what happens? What's the next step after you print your components?
Sure. So it's a lot like the Polymer 80s, right? Just like with the Polymer 80s, when you're done manufacturing your frame, you have to go ahead and install all of the parts. So with one of our 3D prints, actually the first thing that we have to do, and this is different than a Polymer 80, you actually have to remove the supports. So with the 80%, I mean, all you kind of had to do was take off, drill a couple holes, take off some plastic, and you were, ready to rock. With the with the Polymer Zeros, you have to remove your supports, which is relatively straightforward. Pair of needle nose pliers and they'll pop right off. And you may have to ream a couple holes, but other than that, you've got some drop-in rails just like with the Polymer 80s, and then you have a standard Glock lower parts kit. And once you install all that, you just put your slide on, do your function check, and you're ready to go.
All right. Now, for the people that are not familiar with 3D printing, when he's talking about supports, when you start printing out a component on a 3D printer, it's going to be oriented in a certain way to the printer head so that you are reinforcing with every layer of the print as much strength as you can put into the component as possible. That means that when it's oriented in a certain way, if I was going to print this remote control, I'm going to put this here, and I had to print it at an angle for superior strength, it's just not going to print from the bottom and just continue going. It's going to print something underneath this that holds it upward in that position as it's printing to orient it properly to the bed of the printer. That support is there. Now you can have that support in a number of configurations, whether it's hexagonal, whether it's fingers, whether it's this and that. Your components, when you make it, are when you have that STL file. The STL file is what's necessary for the printer to read from. That's its directions, if you will. Have you already selected the type of supports, the density of the supports, or are these things that the operator of that printer is going to have to determine for himself?
No. That's already all done. Literally, all you have to do is, like I said, select what size block you want. Or AR-15, we're going to have about half a dozen different frames to get started.
All right. Now, with your STL files, are you going to have? Hold on one second. I'm just going to clarify one thing. Right? Are you going to also specify within the STL file what type of filament is best recommended? What printing temperature, what bed temperature, and stuff like that?
So all that's done, and just to be clear, so the STL is the digital model. The G code is, the kind of finished machine language, and that's what we provide is the G code. And so it already has all of that done. In terms of the filament, we have a preferred filament. When we ship our printer out, if you've ever seen like a new 3D printer, comes with like a little bit of like
a sample.
Yeah. No, we don't do that. I still had a childhood. You get that Christmas present you always wanted,
and
then there's no batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. We make sure your printer is ready to go when you get it. So that includes an entire spool of real filament, and that'll do about half a dozen block frames.
Yeah.
It's 2.2 pounds, 1
Yes,
kilogram.
it's a kilogram of weight. Now, with the filament that you guys are preferring, is that going to be like a PLA?
A PLA plus.
PLA plus, all right. So do you have a very high temperature style? Well, reasonably high temperature.
We print at about 218 Celsius.
All right, cool. Vass is on the show with us today too. I'm going to blow up the picture a little bit so you can see us a little better. All right. Vass, what's your question?
Yeah, I got a couple, and I'm glad that Steve's with us. Hey, Steve, thank you for.
Hey.
Mike went out.
Hold on. There we go.
This is reaching not just people who are intimately familiar with configuring their firearms, but also people who may not know a lot about that. If we're listening to the anti-Second Amendment members of Congress, they like to say it like that you can just put together an M60, print it on your machine, and you're suddenly walking out of your door in 5 minutes, rocking and rolling like Rambo. But from your description, no, it takes expertise.
So I guess two things. One, you made the mistake of listening to anti-gun members of Congress. But two, that's actually ultimately the goal.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that.
I want to be able to print an M60 in 5 minutes.
Yeah, so they're misrepresenting the reality of.
Oh no, right? Yeah. Of course they are. No, and look, I mean, frankly, anybody who puts any stock in anything that comes out of the mouth of anybody that's been elected to Congress, I mean, God bless them.
Well, because there's 30 caliber clips and things that shrouds that go up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, at this point, or magazines are ammunition, and when you shoot them, they go away. I mean, or barrel shrouds or shoulder stocks that go up, or shoulder things that go up. I can do this all day long. So yeah, don't listen. I mean, who cares what they say? I mean, if they don't rule me, and you know, I
get it, but it's just you know how it is that they get a whole lot of
no, and don't get me wrong. I mean. I guess that said, I love the fact that like New York, California, et al. Are out there trying to like pass bills to require background checks for 3D printers, because essentially we've leapfrogged them, and now they're trying to catch up. But they're recognizing the fact that I mean these are legitimate. This is the future.
Yeah, and it's to the point when you're dealing with 3D when you're dealing with 3D technology, and you're dealing with this, you're not just dealing with, you're trying to regulate something that doesn't exist because somebody hasn't produced what they're going to produce. You're trying to regulate thought because it's intellectual material that's a part of this thing, and they're trying to regulate that. And there's we're going to put in place some sort of demand that 3D printing companies have something in there that prevents them from printing a gun. The printer doesn't know what it's printing. The printer is following directions as to what to print. And this is how out of touch they are because they don't understand not only the technical process that goes into the printing and the designing, but they don't even understand the fact that there's things the printer is not going to be able to do.
Yeah, so I've actually had that conversation with my partner, who is he's more the 3D print guy. I'm more kind of the gunsmithing and law side of the fence. But conceivably, it's possible that a printer could be programmed to be able to identify something that could be a frame or a receiver for a firearm. The problem is that the processing power that the printer would have would be, out of this world, and that's just not what they do.
Well, how would a printer understand the difference between a Glock frame and the frame of a Milwaukee cordless screwdriver?
Sure, right.
If I wanted to make my own line of tools, now you're telling me that your algorithm or your program is going to prevent me from being able to design and construct something for an entirely different industry.
Right.
What if I want to have a cutting edge design for a hair dryer? The reason why tools have a pistol grip is because they were designed after a pistol. They were designed because it is the utilitarian shaped item that has gone from, for hundreds of years, into what they are. So how are you going to tell it, oh, you can't make this, you can't take that? Oh, well, you can't produce a spring. Are guns the only things that use a spring? No. I have a razor blade dispenser for my utility knife that's called a magazine. And there's a spring in it and a whole bunch of razor blades that are in it. And when you need a new razor blade, you just slide it out and you put it in the gun in order to use it. It's the same exact principle as a firearm magazine. So if the companies that are going to produce these things, which, let's face it, 3D printing right now is one of the least expensive ways of prototyping new designs. All right, it's the cutting edge. It used to be you'd have people cutting stuff out of wood, making a prototype, then cutting them out of clay, cutting them out of metal, then injection molding and all the rest of the stuff. 3D printing is where it's at now as far as quick prototyping that is not only going to be representative of the item you're designing, but testable, because you can build inherent strength into this. So if you're going to create programs that are going to try and eliminate the ability for people to do this, you're not only going to hurt the firearm industry, you are going to cease future production in hundreds of other industries moving forward.
Well,
we're almost at the point. Oh, yeah.
No, I was just going to say, it's my question, and what we're talking about is demystifying it. I think that's the biggest thing that they've been trying to do. Is it's a ghost gun, so it's a mystery. It's some kind of evil boogeyman in the corner. And it's like, no, that's not what's happening, and that's not the reality of people who are making these firearms and other objects. It's completely different than this evil boogeyman in the background.
Yeah, I mean, Americans have been making their own guns since before we were Americans. When they passed the Gun Control Act in 1968, they didn't actually regulate guns. They regulated commerce in guns because they believed that they had the right to regulate commerce per the Constitution, but not necessarily firearms themselves. So to actually read the Gun Control Act, and the standard is, if you're engaged in the business of manufacturing or selling firearms or ammunition, you need to have an FFL. But if you're just doing it yourself for yourself, which of course, if you had my printer, you would be, then you're not subject to any of those regulations. So yeah, the best way to demystify it is to buy a printer and make your own guns.
And fortunately, you have to find somebody who's actually going to sell you that printer and give you the ability to manufacture your own.
Well, and fortunately, I also have kits for all of the prints that we support. So I'll be happy to tell you those as well.
Cool.
All right, now, how far along in the process are you where have you determined what your price lists are going to be?
Yeah, we've got.
All right,
so we're still working on our individual kits, like the complementary, the supplementary pieces. But for the printer itself, we're good to go. We will be taking orders, and we're looking at about 30 to 60 days. I've got some work to do on the website. I'm changing hosting companies. I'm going to rebuild the website itself to reflect exactly what we want, but we're pretty much there.
I just got a private message that said, "Put on sloan."
From whom?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. All right. So now the machine that you're using.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to tell us about the machine, the specific machine?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we're not doing anything special right now. In the future, we want to actually put 100% of quality control, under our umbrella. But right now, we're just taking somebody else's printer. We're taking an Ender 3. And we are swapping out some parts. We're doing a couple of things to make sure that it works reliably. The most important thing is really two things. One, that it's level, and two, that we have tight control over tolerances, especially when it comes to temperature.
Right. Now with your leveling system, I know we've gone over these things. You guys have developed a proprietary leveling system that takes the standard auto leveling and manual leveling that you would do with a level and have taken it to another level of precise accuracy.
We did. That was with our first prototype. We had to abandon that because the new Enders are actually auto level. There is no way around it. That's what they're all doing nowadays.
Because I remember we were discussing that the original ones you would you would level your bed.
Yep.
But your level bed didn't necessarily mean that the machine itself was level.
So that was with the right, with the BL Touch. Yeah, and that was so, and that's pretty much what the new Enders are using. No, our first prototype, we replaced the carriage that the bed sits on with our version of a 3-point leveling system, and you could get it very, very precise, very, very quickly. But now with the new Enders, they do them by themselves. So that is something we don't have to worry about anymore, for better or worse.
Now your Ender, you're using the Ender 3.
We are using the Ender 3.
Right,
Yep.
that's a single head printer.
It is.
All right.
Yeah, so one color only.
So single color only. So you guys who want to, figure out how to make multicolor composite firearms, you're going to have to learn how to pause, switch, blend, and do all the rest of that.
We'll get you there. Don't worry. I mean,
Well, there are some rainbow filaments.
There are rainbow filaments.
That we could use.
For the right now, we're taking the Walmart, the Sam Walton approach, right? You can have any color you want as long as it's black.
Black, yeah.
We will have different splicing profiles for different filaments and different colors. They change. Unfortunately. So, you might with our prime slicing profile, you might be able to print, PLA in black, white, and blue, but not red and purple. So down the road, I mean, that's not a high priority. If you really, really want to, print a pink frame, you can, play with the settings and the temperatures. That's really all you have to do.
Or now with the PLA stuff, all right, we get a standard quote unquote Glock or any other polymer frame firearm or something like that, and a customer wants to say, okay, I want to send this out and get it colorized, get it Cerakoted. Are the 3D printing guns, will they withstand the heat of a baked Cerakote finish, or will these air dry only?
I believe that with the PLA Plus, they'll air dry only. It's been a while since I've messed with Cerakote, but here's the problem. So generally speaking, everybody who does Cerakoting is an FFL. And an FFL gets their hands on any frame or receiver that's not serialized. They have to now, by law,
they have to serialize it themselves,
right? With
the point of origin of manufacturer.
Yeah, so you're better off not going that route. It's a 3D print. Don't Cerakote it. Just
However,
get some Duracoat.
Well, that's what I say. There are elements out there that will allow you to achieve a good kind of quality ceramic coating finish, but
right.
It's going to be of the non-baked variety of the air dry. Now, I don't know if there's any chemical composition in the fixing agent or the hardeners that would be adversely reactive to the PLA filaments, the polymers that are within them. We wouldn't want somebody, going through the trouble of producing something and then destroying it as they're trying to finish it.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah, they might have to.
And unfortunately, with the PLA Plus, the mixes tend to be proprietary. So, if you do ESUN, we generally just use ESUN. But there's a Hatchbox. There's dozens and dozens of different manufacturers out there, and they all kind of have their own mix of PLA Plus, right? So it's PLA and like a PET additive as well, and they'll have different properties and different percentages. So it really depends on who you're using and what you're using.
Right. And there's still limitations with 3D printing, like we were talking about, with like what components can be made and what components can't be made.
Sure.
Something would stand. You're not going to make magazine springs or recoil springs. I mean, magazine springs, there might be potential ways of designing a spring that'll hold up, but recoil springs.
I've seen magazine springs. However, so always using spring steel is the most effective way to do it. You can 3D print a spring factory. So you can feed spring steel into it, and it will make the magazine spring for whatever you want. So if you want a 36 round Glock mag or Beretta mag or whatever the case may be, you can make that.
Right.
Absolutely.
But
and it's not ammunition, so when you shoot it, it won't go away.
Right. But you do have again barrels.
Yeah. Again, not ideal. Right.
Right.
No, we're using.
Well, this is the thing that people don't understand when it comes to 3D printing, is there are certain components that do not have the ability coming out of any 3D printer unless it's a metal welding 3D CNC operated printer, which is actually forming a piece of metal through building up weld, that still has to be then be machined.
They have SLS.
Afterward.
They do have 3D printing in metal. It's just not economically viable.
Right, but after you're done, it's still something that has to be machined. It has to be threaded. It has to be finished and polished and everything. It's still a full-on manufacturing process that is beyond the reach of 99.9% of the consumer rating person in America. So they're going to create ghost guns. Well, I still can't make a friggin' barrel. I can't make a slide. I can't make the components that are going to stand up to 27,000 cubic inches of pressure that needs to fire that round. But you're making the accessories around the gun, not the gun itself, as far as that's concerned. There's still a lot of work you need to do to make it work.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to interject that is probably one of the most important things I've heard about, and I don't know a lot about 3D printing. I am a neophyte in that, but I got to tell you, from what you hear outside of you guys talking about this and the expertise you have there, Steve, and what you're talking about, Frank, I presumed that there was the capability of making everything off the 3D print, and I'm really surprised.
All right,
and people need to know that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm gonna tell you where the myth emanated from. Okay, it was a movie called In the Line of Fire. Yep. Okay, where John Malkovich played a guy who was intent on killing the president of the United States, and Clint Eastwood is a Secret Service operator who was on the back of the limousine that JFK got killed on, but because he stepped off, he couldn't take the bullet for him. So he lived 30 years of his life with the guilt of losing a president, and now he's determined to stop John Malkovich. Well, John Malkovich in the movie creates a Derringer-style two-shot pistol out of, quote-unquote, now I'm off screen, but I'm using the air quotes, resin type stuff where he puts in a mold, and he's able to put two 45 or 9mm caliber rounds in it, pull the firing pins back, which are rubber band actuated, has a knurled screw that holds the whole gun together, and is able to accurately shoot targets at distance.
Yeah.
See, the problem with that movie is John Malkovich at the end of the movie still had full prestidigitation. He had all of his 10 fingers because the gun in question he would have used would have blown his friggin' hand off. But through the use of Hollywood movie magic, everybody thinks you can get 2 or 3 components, put them in a Dixie cup, pour them in a mold, and you got a gun. And they think that 3D printing is the same thing.
Yeah, literally, that's what he does in the movie, and it's a decent movie, but it's definitely Hollywood. It's absolutely Hollywood.
By the way, fun fact: my great grandmother's sister is John Malkovich's grandmother.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
nice. Now so it must be in the family.
I am your father's brother's cousin's nephew's.
I think that makes him my great uncle once removed or something.
Nice. Now let's get down to because as I'm sitting here listening to all this, the only thing I can think about is this. No, I don't want to frame it this way because it obviously matters. But in the grand scheme of this, I feel like none of this matters. How is any of this relevant? We can manufacture our own firearms.
Right. Correct.
Right from the start. I don't care whether you think it's a 3D printer. Can you make a full gun that's 3D printed? Yeah. Is it going to blow up in your hands? Yeah. But you can't just print a gun. And even if you can, that is completely legal.
Right.
So it's it's just annoying that we have to go down these avenues of you can't make this, you can make this, but then and it's like, I'm still perfectly legal to do this.
Right.
It's just so frustrating.
So you're mostly perfectly legal to do that. There is a law from, I want to say it's 86, that says that all guns must have at least 3.2 ounces or something like that of metal in them so that they can be detected by a magnetometer, by a metal detector. So when Defense Distributed made their first because they actually did make a fully 3D printed gun.
Right.
I think the only bit of metal in it was the firing pin,
Right.
which was just like a 1 penny nail or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
They had to put a little plate of steel in it so that it would comply with that law as well.
Right. Okay. See, I was unaware because I know of the 86 stuff, but
Yeah.
not like I need to be read up on it.
That was
sure.
because of the Glock 7, which
Right.
was a
The
porcelain
gun that costs more than you make in a month.
Yeah.
3 months.
You'd be surprised what I make in 3 months.
Or makes
Yeah.
If it's any more than $1.25, I'd be surprised.
So yeah. But right, no, we can make our own guns.
Yeah.
And we've always been able to make our guns. And I guess the important thing is the printer that I'm selling only makes one specific part, and that's the regulated part.
Right.
So all the other parts you can buy, right? And that's, I guess, the important thing is the barrel, the frame, the barrel, the slide, or the upper receiver, that you can all buy completely unregulated. Go online, go to, Palmetto State, go to Brownells, go wherever, order it, have it shipped to your door, no questions asked.
Right.
It's the frame that has to be serialized.
The scary part that, as we were discussing last night with the whole the rules and frames and receivers, is no scary ghost guns. I can have my ghost gun.
Right.
I may or may not have my own because I'm not a prohibited person, and
Right.
I allegedly had bought one, finished it, and shot it, and it's
Yeah,
cool. But
absolutely.
after it was 100% without anything in it, because this is where the absence of logic is in the whole argument of, sweet, if I had nothing else, I just bought that, did the work with these readily available expensive drill presses and all these other routers and crazy things. Not crazy, but not everybody has one, right? Sweet, it is a firearm, firearm,
Right.
that can't put a magazine in,
Right.
that can't. And if it could accept the magazine, because you got to supply that, you can't shoot it. To where it's just the absence of logic of, this is the scary part that we're so deathly afraid of. We don't want people to make these themselves. Again, completely legal, as long as you have enough metal in it. That actually makes sense why there's the also for the serial number, why it's metal.
Right.
It's like that's probably going towards it, but
Yeah.
It just makes no sense because, like, what is this? I can finish it, and it's not a threat. I don't think I could hit somebody hard enough with it for it to do lasting damage.
Yeah, and that actually goes back to, I believe it's the NFA, right? Because when you look at, I believe it's Title I, it defines a firearm. And it says a firearm is a device, and I'm going to paraphrase here, but it's a device designed to propel a projectile through the use of explosive force or the frame or receiver of any such device. So there's kind of a split in the law, right? There's the firearm, and then there's the frame or receiver. And legally, the frame or receiver is the firearm.
Right.
So yeah, even though it can't shoot, even though it can't do anything, it's still legally the firearm. That's the part that you either have to make yourself, or you've got to go through that whole regulatory framework of the Gun Control Act to get your hands on it.
Right.
And so we essentially short circuit that and make it easy for you to make it yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So now in that case, for let's look at SIG, Ruger, Springfield. Now they've flipped it on its head with the 320, the 365, the Echelon, the RXM. How they even I was over there at the Maxwell booth, and they have Maxwell's making a grip frame or grip module for the LCP Max. Okay, that's crazy, but in that sense, it's like, hey, you can't make this. I can't make what? It's not serial number. It's not a gun because the gun is the fire control unit. And it's like, well, where does that lie? That's nor a frame nor a receiver, because it on its own. Now, I hate to throw this out there because God forbid this is now that's something they look into and try to use again. But again, first and foremost, you can manufacture your own firearms, but then as long as you got enough metal in it, right, enough weight. And it's the Second Amendment. Show me specifically, I don't care about your interpretation. Show me where it says you can't, like, where
it can be infringed.
Right. Hey, the Second Amendment shall not be infringed. Okay, cool. But the Second Amendment is really like, we're going to be able to. Where's the but in there? There's no but. It's stupid. The lack of logic is astounding.
It doesn't
no
even
common
match
sense
up with
on
the
it.
arguments. It doesn't even match up with
Right.
the arguments
Yeah.
that we hear from them. And it's like, you can't have a military or military style firearm, which is stupid because every firearm ever made is military style.
Right.
But then
Hey.
You're making it at your home. There's no military in the world that has it. Therefore, their argument is useless. It's mine. It's unique.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they love to use terms like military style. It doesn't mean anything, right? So how do you argue? How do you debate against that? You can't.
Yeah. And first of all, my shit's better than some of the military issued stuff. So don't drop my quality down. And isn't there historical precedence of that us as a starting country went to civilians and we're like, hey, we kind of ran out of cannons. We need your cannons. Hey, can we use please? Can we use your boats? We don't have enough boats.
Yeah.
So what's that again? Oh, we don't want you to have military grade stuff. It's like,
well, the other half of the British are coming was take up your arms.
Right. Yeah. Hey,
Yes.
come.
The British are coming. Take up your arms.
Yes. The part that's not quoted often.
Oh, it is quite often. Do you hear quotes that are never finished? You know, I love the example of blood is thicker than water. Everybody thinks that is like, oh, well, you always have to be with your family. No, blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. That's not the blood you're born into, but the family that you make is the important part. Or, you know, curiosity killed the cat. Sure, that's terrible. I can't be curious. I can't want to look into stuff. Curiosity killed the cat. Satisfaction brought it back. You know, so find it. Be curious.
Damon exercising the philosophical.
Yeah, I can keep it going.
Brother, I'm loving this,
I can keep it going. The customer's always right in matters of taste and opinion.
Style.
So it's like, you can, but nobody takes it fully. And a jack of all trades is a master of none, but still better than one. Absolutely. So I still would like to be good at a lot of things, but if I can still focus on something, I would still like to, you know, I'd like to have my specific trade. So it's infuriating to see just so much stuff like that, where you're just chopping it, cutting it up to fit your narrative. You know, if you're going to say the whole thing. You know, don't just snip it to where it fits for you. Say the full thing, like the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
You can't chop. You do not chop it up to fit your narrative. It's there for a reason, and it's the lack of knowledge across the country for it, why it's there, is again, it's just simply infuriating because, you know, like you said, the British are coming, take up your arms. Why would the U.S. government want to disarm the largest unofficial military in the world? And what was it during World War? Right. So, and what was it when like World War II? Right, when it's like the Japanese wouldn't invade us. It's like, well, why? It's like because there's a gun behind every blade of grass. Like,
there's an American
pretty sure that was a quote
with a rifle behind it.
Right. There's a right. Absolutely. So it's like such a large presence to potentially defend the country, and I would like to imagine, besides those people that are vehemently against it, that God forbid, I would do something. I feel like I'm obligated to do something if something were to happen. And I always look at Red Dawn, the movie. Like, that's ridiculous.
The original.
Can we?
Not the remake.
The original. Yeah, I would. Yeah, both of them. They're both dumb.
Hey,
I would like to remake it.
They remake everything.
Not dumb. The premise. Yeah, the premise of it is like, I would like to remake it modern time, and it'd be a 10-minute movie. Like, oh, they're dropping into Texas. Oh, okay, with free skeet shooting. Like, what do you mean an enemy force is just jumping in and doing all this crazy stuff?
Wasn't it Colorado?
For the new one, yeah. It was like, oh my God. It's like, well, maybe.
Well, because they're all stoned in Colorado. Yeah. Nobody noticed the Cuban-Russian invasion until they were already on the ground.
Right. So it's like, you mean to tell me right, like
because the air traffic controllers were stoned too.
Yeah. They would invade, and we wouldn't just immediately quarantine a whole state.
Dude,
it's like, you're not getting anywhere.
Dude, those planes are dropping people, man.
Now, unfortunately,
for me, I just love the idea. I got to tell you, every time I hear about the 3D printing,
Well,
I just love the concept of I have something that is unique that no one else in the world has. It is made for me the way that I want it to be. Um, and that I think is
it's
probably
FUBU.
why we keep seeing so many people saying, yeah, I want to get involved. Is that right, Steve? Do you hear a lot of people say that?
Yeah, I mean, so customization is another big part of it. Now, I mean, that's mostly going to be done by the end user, but I mean, there are so many and what we'll call remixes out there. You know, if you look in some of the websites, some of the digital libraries that curate these files, it is absolutely amazing the stuff that people come up with. And I mean, it's really fun, and it shows you exactly what you can do with this technology. It is going to kind of democratize and decentralize gun making. I mean, to the nth degree. I can't even express in words what's going to happen in the next 5 years as we grow and as we kind of normalize this process, these technologies, and create an ecosystem around them.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it. I would love for the day. I know it's
Well,
again movie magic, but remember in Good Bad the Ugly, when when Tuco goes and he mix and matches his own little revolver there. I know that's movie magic. You couldn't do that in real life, but I would love to be able to do that, in the future and take a magazine from one, a frame from another, a barrel from another, and put them all together and just be like, yeah, mix and match. I always like that idea.
Well, the most common question asked when anybody sees a new gun hit the market is, does it take Glock mags? Does it take Glock mags?
Well, and one of the fun things that we can do now is you can have receivers or frames that essentially take every mag.
Yeah.
So whichever one you wanted to take, just print that one.
Ooh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
But think about
with some exceptions.
Just the amount of ingenuity that can be tapped into and applied today that for years and years and years was unobtainable for most people. Where people would have like a fantastic, and this goes beyond the gun industry, identity industry. People would have like a fantastic idea for a new invention, but all they could ever do was afford to draw a picture of it. They have the idea in their head, but they can't generate a prototype. They can't figure out, okay, because prototyping can cost tens of thousands of dollars, for the simplest little thing that you want to create. And here you have the ability to, if you understand shapes and you can use a tape measure, there are certain programs that are so absolutely simple to use that you can create your own prototype, design it, and print it out in a day. And you now have something tangible that you could apply for a patent with. You can get copyrights to things.
And with AI, that's going to get just
and now the computer
speed is going to be 10 times, 100,000 times.
So the amount there was
and easier.
In like 1890 something or other, I forgot what the quote was. They closed down the U.S. Patent Office because the Secretary of the U.S. Patent Office made the claim at the time, everything that could be invented has been invented. And we are no longer accepting any patent ideas because nothing else can possibly exist. We can't think of anything somebody else would come up with. Meanwhile, Wilbur and Orville are riding bicycles around, trying to, and you're riding them off cliffs with make-believe wings on them, trying to figure out how to make a plane.
That's going to go down in history, like the guy who said that the stock market has now reached a permanent plateau in like 1927, 1928.
And God himself could not sink the ship.
Right. Yeah. Or God, what was his name? The economist, right? He might still be writing. I always forget his name. From the New York Times, the one that said that the internet's going to go down in history, like the fax machine is going to have the same.
Krugman, I think that was.
Yes, Paul Krugman. Thank you.
Paul Krugman.
Yeah.
But but like I said, but 3D printing is not so much just about what you can, about what you can create, but the fact that you can create. And the thing that it is that it's an unbridled level of freedom that it gives you to be able to take the craziest things that people would say couldn't exist, wouldn't exist, would never exist, things. I mean, not for nothing. We had a company out there probably made at least $1 billion in sales on a goddamn shake weight. All right. Now, if you've ever seen anybody using the shake weight, and you would approach an investing company and say, hey, I got a great way how we can make a dirty joke that everybody can participate in and pay money for.
They never went on Shark Tank. That would have been a great episode.
Well, no. Well, there's an invisible salt shaker that you can actually taste, but we'll get into that on a different day. But the guy who thought of the shake weight's worth hundreds of millions of dollars right now.
Have you ever used one? Put your pride aside.
No. I've matter of fact, Lori and I were at the store the other day, and I grabbed one up and I said, "Here, hon, demonstrate this for me." And she gave me just a dirty look because she knew. But yes, I mean there is a health benefit towards it, I guess, if you can.
You didn't answer my question.
Yes,
you've used one
for about 4 seconds. I said, "What the hell was?"
Yeah, no, you do it for try to do it for a minute, and yeah, it's something. Again, put the pride aside. I know, like it's a legitimate thing,
right? But here's what I'm trying to. But these are things that.
How did we get on this topic?
I don't know, but this is why this show is awesome, because we can talk about anything. But it's those things like that where somebody would discount an idea from somebody and say that's ridiculous, it's insane, it's this, or it's that. And somebody could get dissuaded because they would say, if I'm getting shit on by everybody I put this idea out to, is it worth it for me to spend $50,000 prototyping this idea just to get shit on?
And now you can
for a couple of $100 you can buy a printer and you can prototype that crazy friggin' idea that you have and actually present it to somebody and say, hey, remember what you said might not work? Here's a working prototype. Let's see what we can do with it. Ideas are going to, more millionaires are going to get created out of 3D printing.
Yeah.
And plus you add that with the combination with AI.
Yep.
We have an untapped potential of creative vision in this country, in the world, that's going to take us to new levels.
Yeah.
And the fact that government is going to try and hamstring people over firearms when we're totally allowed to friggin' I hate using that word allowed.
Right.
We're allowed.
They're not allowed.
Yeah, you're not allowed to tell me what I can't do.
They're not.
Right.
It's not a matter of what I'm allowed to do. It's what we allow you to regulate. And we are not going to allow you to regulate free thought, free speech, free expression, and the ability to create.
Yep. Yeah, it's not it is not that technology is advancing faster than their laws can keep up. It's that their laws were always BS, and now we're using technology to expose their facts.
Yeah.
So the possibilities, especially just in the firearms community, are endless. I have 3D scanned a gun and taken that three-dimensional model, digitally added blocking to it, printed it out, and then heated and formed Kydex around it. So you'll be able to 3D print Kydex molds for pennies on the dollar.
And if you've ever looked into blue guns or anything like that, you know that you're looking at $45, $75 in that range to be able to get one gun that you can use as a mold to create holsters on it. Well, that blue gun weighs what, 4 ounces, 5 ounces?
Kind of hefty, depending on who you go with.
Depending upon one. But if you can get out of that blue gun, you can get 3 of them out of one roll of filament. And a roll of filament is going to cost you between $16 and $25, depending upon what level of filament you're going to get.
Oh, you'll get twice that out of a roll of filament.
Yeah, that's it. You're looking at
yeah. So there's a tremendous amount of savings that you could have in that. I mean, put it this way: Alec Baldwin would have probably been served very well if he had a 3D printed revolver that was spray painted.
I was wondering how you're going to take that, but yeah.
Yes, somebody would be alive today if they would have given Alec Baldwin a 3D printed revolver.
That issue goes far beyond the gun. It's very the armor that somebody. There's a lot more to that.
Yeah, the firearm wasn't
right.
No, it was everybody. But again, this goes back to my own.
Yeah,
but this goes back to that argument that we had at the time about how things were being defined at the time, and the definition was Alec Baldwin shot a prop firearm that then killed. It was a fully functional, authentic firearm that was being used in a movie. When I hear the word prop,
loaded,
I'm thinking about a candy glass bottle that is a breakaway so that when you hit somebody, it shatters. This to me is a prop. When I think about props and I see the guy run up behind another guy and hit somebody in the head with the gun, it's a rubber gun because it's a prop. It's a prop generally means it's something fake, something inert. It's not going to hurt anybody. He didn't shoot somebody with a prop gun. He shot somebody with a loaded firearm that was failed in every capacity to be safety checked by every single person on that movie set who was responsible for the handling of that gun, culminating with him, the user, the end user who is ultimately responsible in making sure that that firearm is safe. And he failed, and so did everybody else. And a young lady died for it, and another young lady is going to prison for it.
Oh, is she? No, I thought she.
No, they gave her. I don't know. She got.
Yeah, she's in prison. Yeah,
is she really?
Yeah,
Baldwin got the slap on the wrist.
They dropped the charges against him, so that they could not, even be rebrought. They dropped the charges so they couldn't be rebrought, and the armorer got convicted of involuntary manslaughter.
All right.
Yeah, completely nonsense. Because again, it's a failure on Baldwin because he's ultimately the director that doing everything for the movie, right? Something happened to the original armorer. They got her completely not qualified. Now I can understand your point of you would want a prop gun, right? But think of it this way. It's a prop gun's not going to move right on screen. It doesn't have the weight. It's not going to behave how you need it to behave.
No. But however, I was at NRAA Arms when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, NRAA Arms used to have a showroom that you could go and you could buy decommissioned firearms.
Or that, yeah.
And
absolutely.
what they had in NRAA Arms was they had 45 revolvers from a litany of manufacturers. And what they did is they plug welded every single one of the cylinders so it couldn't accept a full load cartridge, but it could accept blanks.
Yeah.
And the barrel was plugged halfway. They put a bead weld down the middle of the bottom of the barrel so a projectile couldn't be fired out of it. But when you loaded blanks into it and fired it, single action, 4 clicks, the cylinder would turn, you would fire the round, you get the flash, the bang, and the smoke. Perfect.
Yeah.
Prop gun. Now it's rendered inert. You could still like John Eric Hexum put a hole in your head with a blank firing gun.
Yes, absolutely. So let me finish on that too because it's. Go ahead, Mike.
I was just saying, but ultimately, the simplest answer, and this is true about most things with firearms, the responsibility is you have it in your hand. You are that user at that moment.
Right.
If you are responsible for the safety.
Right.
Real replica doesn't matter. Baldwin didn't. The responsibility is with him, and that's kind of the way we see most of the people who are trying to infringe on our rights. They keep trying to come up with a lot of other excuses to distract and bring us to other arguments, and the core answer is no. It's you as an individual have responsibility and accountability, and that's why it's freedom. Because with freedom, you're free, and that means you're responsible and accountable. Period. Simple stop. Doesn't matter what anything else is, just flavor on top of that. That's the way I see it. I don't know. You guys agree with me, Steve? You agree with me there?
No, absolutely, because that's what I was wanting to touch on. Is the basic four rules of firearm safety for anybody. Sweet, but that's if you're willing to learn them. Because wherever the hell this is filmed, Baldwin, wherever he falls, it's. I would make the situation of like, oh, I'm the armor on a movie set. I like guns. I know I'm working on a set with a bunch of people who do not like guns, just for whatever reason, one or the other. I am grabbing everybody who will maybe even think about touching a firearm. And first and foremost, in that situation, why was there live ammunition?
Right.
Besides that's a whole other topic. Let me finish.
I know.
First and foremost, that's ridiculous. But then it's like I'm getting everybody. It's like, who's familiar with firearms? Nobody raises their hand. I'm like, all right, shut up, come here. I'm nobody, no phones, no nothing. I need everybody's undivided attention, 100%. First, and then run them down. Always shoot every firearm if it's loaded. Never put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to fire. Know your target and what's beyond it. Never point at anything you don't want to destroy. I forgot the first one. Always have fun. No, I'm just kidding. But the basic 4 rules of firearm safety, and have that be drilled. Because again, I can understand. It's like, oh, this is the sole person responsible for this firearm, and however many people are on that movie set. Inaccurate. Like you said, it falls on whoever's gun whoever's holding it. So. But if they don't know that, because they don't care to know that, there's a greater problem at the start, at the source, because guns are scary and guns kill people. So I don't even want to be associated with them.
Guns don't kill people. Alec Baldwin kills people.
Yeah, people kill people.
He's essentially that idiot on YouTube sucking it up in front of the camera and letting his round rip off.
And the movie wasn't even great.
I didn't.
From what I hear,
it did
not pay off.
At all,
I think
anyway.
Not a Principle
for sure.
Alec Baldwin movie I saw. Backdraft was the last Baldwin movie I saw.
God.
No,
but anyway.
Yeah.
But again, if he had used a 3D printed gun,
3D printed prop.
If Woody had gone straight to the police, none of this would ever have happened.
Yeah. So.
That's my 70-year-old pop culture reference for anybody who's
You're absolutely right. You cannot outsource your liberty to the government. It was something that was given to us. It's something that we, generation after generation, have to hold on to. The flame that has to be tended. And, ultimately the last line of defense is the Second Amendment. And so it's important that we keep on pushing kind of the ball down the field and get back to where we need to be. The government's not going to do it for us. Doesn't matter who's on the Supreme Court, right? We have the most gun-friendly Supreme Court we've ever had, and we've had some of the most damning decisions, in the last 2 years since Bruin.
And plus, if we look at that whole Baldwin situation, we can understand that not only can't we rely on governments, but you can't rely on the courts. Because here's a situation where us as responsible gun owners would say, this is the situation that happens when you don't have people that understand, when you have people that act carelessly and they do things wrong. These are the people who should be paying the price, not the people who actually do things right, where you're penalizing them with your bullshit laws. These are the people, the careless, reckless people that hurt people. These are the people who should pay the price. And what does the court do? It turns around and it says, no, he's okay. He can go. He can go. So then we say, okay, not only are you failing on the freedom front, you're also failing on the justice front.
On the accountability front.
And again, my New York City concealed carry permit that was issued to me in 1993, that I had to jump through flaming hoops backwards and blindfolded in order to get that license. I moved, and my guns that were registered under that license, when I moved away out of the 5 boroughs for 20 friggin' years, and nobody from the pistol licensing division ever came and knocked on the door and said, hey, that permit you got in 93 is expired in 98. Where are the guns that are on that permit? Nobody ever came for it. Nobody ever knocked on the door. Is that my failure as a gun owner, as a permit holder, as a proponent of the Second Amendment, or is that a failure of the government and their laws that they institute to make it hard for me to be a gun owner, and they don't even enforce or reinforce the rules, let alone the laws, just the rules that follow the law.
Well,
And
don't get me
you
started.
say, well,
Don't get
well,
me-
you fell through the, and then you wonder why, you have guns that are out on the street. Oh, they're being bought illegally. No, they're not being bought illegally. They're guns that were forgotten about by the licensing authorities, that after the bullshit license that they should have never had to issue in the first place expired and somebody died and the gun got found, because little Bobby found the gun in Grandpa's sock drawer and the gun was forgotten about 20 years ago. That's why stuff goes out on the street. So why do we have to put so much faith and confidence in government and law when they fail at every single turn? And even the most obvious cases where they should have had slam dunk cases against people who acted stupidly and carelessly and recklessly, when we give them the prime example and say, here's what the guy you should, oh, well, no, he's one of us. We can't possibly put this guy in jail. He's one of us.
Like whatever happened to that breakdancing FBI agent in Colorado.
Oh, who dropped his gun and shot the person.
Yeah.
The gun went off and hit
Yeah.
somebody at the party.
Right. I did that. I'm sure I would have gotten a slap on the wrist as well.
Yeah, that wouldn't have happened. Who is? And by the way,
Right.
Can you say who's like the most famous person who's brought one of your kits? Can you say? Like you haven't.
I wouldn't.
Okay. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. I don't know if there's someone who's like.
Yeah.
To say their name or.
It's not that I want to. I mean, I could tell you the least, famous person, but
there is something called
I don't.
proprietor customer confidentiality.
Yeah, I don't publish
I
customer lists.
understand that. But some people are willing
Based.
to say that they are, they want to stand up. Sometimes there's people willing to say no.
Sure.
No,
If somebody wants to, if at some point some customer would like to offer testimonial as to how they enjoy creating their own, medium of firearm, they will give an endorsement. But up and until that time comes, it's better to leave those people nameless. Just knowing that they're out there is enough.
So, and
Oh, I know.
as a consequence of this weekend, I'm actually sending out a lot of printers. Once we're taking orders, I'll be sending them out to a lot of folks that I talk to, a lot of the influencers, all right, that everybody in the gun world knows and loves. So they'll be able to get, kind of their take on it.
Right.
Because I can tell you how great it is all day long, but I'm selling you something. So.
Who that?
No, I'm with you, Steve.
Short Ace, green hat.
I get that.
Who that?
Again, I wasn't trying to.
Short guy,
paint
green
you
hat.
All right, we'll get them on over.
Just wanted to know.
You're
if
going to
someone
conduct it.
volunteered, and you could say it. So.
Oh yeah,
I'm
no.
on the damn trigger.
Not-
All right, so Dalen just informed me that we have somebody else here waiting in the wings that we tried getting on yesterday, but apparently there was a bounty out on him yesterday. He was being hunted in the facility, and our own Dalen Parker is the one who cashed that bounty in by roughhousing this young man and tackling him to the ground and
That's not far off.
yeah, I know. I saw part of the video.
Does that mean I believe?
Actually, you know what you can do? You can talk, because you could probably talk to him about this more than me. I'm going to actually stand up and stretch my leg because my hip has been out for like 3 days and I'm just sitting down. It's killing the shit out of me. So you guys continue to talk.
I was going to go grab a shake weight.
Oh, shake weight?
Yeah,
I
but that's fine.
I can
I'll
go
cover
solo.
down. I'll,
All right,
I'll cover down for you.
I'm gonna jump out of frame. I'll jump out of frame. Let him take one of the seats. One of you guys over there. I'm actually gonna move this camera around a little bit. I think what we're gonna do is turn the table sideways so we're more in line. So I can put the camera back further. I think that'll widen the shot. So you guys continue to talk while I figure out what the hell I'm doing.
Where's
your
pull
guy?
the camera back.
Right there, green hat.
Okay.
Just tell Frank to pull the.
Yeah, we
camera
tried
back.
that. He's gonna, but it's as far back as it can be. We had to move the table back because we had a gentleman hit it because it was too far into the aisle. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so that's why it's as far back as it is.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna.
Okay.
Kind of sit staggered here.
And you missed it yesterday, Steve. Frank was trying to get himself tackled by Secret Service as he was messing with the interim AG, which is Todd Blanche, who was there yesterday.
Yes.
Hey, little one.
Oh, was he here yesterday?
Look at this. Got a little girl sitting in the background, just hunkered down. That's cute. Okay.
No, the camera's got to be at the end of the table because it's in the middle. You're not going to be able to get everybody.
Yeah, you're off camera.
Yeah,
Sorry,
there's no other way we can do this trying to fit everybody.
Apologize. Well, tell her she was looking good, and sorry, but she was looking good.
You can move back for us. You move back.
Yeah.
Frank, you've got to.
Not really. I mean, we got the arm.
In the way.
You want to sit in the captain chair?
I mean, we got to figure out how this camera. I don't think it's got the field of view.
There you go.
Yeah, live.
Yeah,
we'll do
just
it live.
All right, now.
Okay, we're scooching. Excuse us for a second here.
That's all right, folks. I'll keep you entertained while, obviously, this is live, and when you do it live, there's little things we gotta change around. But what we're seeing today here at the NRA at the convention, and we're speaking with Steve.
Yeah,
we're having a great conversation about just life, being an American citizen, having freedom, and having choices in every aspect, especially.
I know Michael's talking.
So this is one of the big things that we're doing here, but I think we've got the cameras all set. Oh, we have a new person that has joined us on the set. We are again live in the NRA. I'm going to kick it back to Dalen, who is on the furthest left of the camera. Dalen, pick it up. Who joined us? What's going on?
Absolutely. This is Kenny FPS FPS Kenny by his Instagram tag. Not going to say his last name. You can do his social. I know how to pronounce it. I've seen it. I know how to pronounce it. I just want to get that for the record. He is pretty prevalent.
Nice to meet you.
For the Instagrams, doing a bunch of shenanigans. Had the pleasure of working with him a little bit yesterday. That was first thing in the morning, so that was fun. I greatly appreciate that, Kenny.
Of course.
Give a little bit about yourself. Let the people know.
What's up, everybody? I'm Kenny. I'm 24.
Into the mic.
There we go. What's up, everybody? I'm Kenny. I'm 24, and I'm starting to make content in the firearms space. I'm about 8 months in, but I'm blessed enough to be able to do it as a full-time gig. So here we are.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where are you out of?
Yo, I'm out of Virginia.
Ooh.
Yeah. So a lot of things going on over there. It's getting kind of dicey. I'm making me a 2-time refugee. My parents left Vietnam. Now I gotta leave Virginia.
Well, Spamberger,
yeah,
she's kind of special out there. Wait a minute, you're 24.
Yeah.
So
yes, I am.
Yeah, respectfully, you're a youngin'. So what got you involved? Because most people in your age group are kind of not paying attention to the Second Amendment or their rights, I would say, in general. Mm-hmm. Could be wrong. You tell me.
So I've always been into guns and firearms. I mean, I grew up watching all the action movies. I played with Nerf guns, went into airsoft, played that for a long time. And I think when I was 23, 22, I was just like, you know what? Let's just buy a gun. So I went to a gun show with my friend. I got a 19X, Holosun 507C, got a holster, and it's been a expensive hobby since then.
Very slippery slope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, some of the best things cost, you know.
Well, hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, never would I have thought that 2 years because.
No, I was gonna. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Seems like I'm on a slight delay.
No,
have you ever known anything about 3D printing, or have you done that?
So a lot of my friends do it. I haven't really gotten into it much. Should be getting a printer soon. But
I can help you out with that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
But it's so cool that people are able to come up with these designs. One of the guns that I've been able to mess with, the SAS-9 from Free State Gun Co., the original design was a 3D printed gun, and they've been able to manufacture it into a real firearm.
Yeah.
Obviously, like milled and everything, which it's really cool to see that. Yeah. It's also really cool to see into like the suppressor market where they're now like 3D printing titanium and Inconel for these cans. So it's dug its way into the 2A space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just getting started.
Oh yeah, it's only gonna get even better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you got Steve right next.
Yeah, it's actually
to
what
you.
I was on talking about. So I sell 3D printers that come preloaded with the G code. So all you got to do is select like what size Glock you want, and it prints out. You don't have to slice. You don't have to download.
Yeah.
You're just ready to go. And of course, I sell the kits. So
That is
all the other
cool.
parts, and you can still do that in Virginia. Last I checked.
Yes. It isn't until July 1st when everything goes into full effect.
Oh, did they ban privately made firearms?
Cannot make your own firearms.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to expedite one of those printers
See,
here.
luckily for me, I'm very tight with a Osama 2, so I'm able to do whatever.
Let me ask a question. Did they grandfather any previously produced firearms, any homemade firearms prior to July 1st?
So homemade firearms, not at all.
Okay.
Originally, like they were gonna not grandfather 30-round magazines. That's insane, and so I think there was enough pushback that they added the grandfather clause into it.
Onto those magazines.
It would have made every single person a felon, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kenny, was
So,
that right?
but for privately made firearms,
Yeah,
there is no grandfather clause.
not for homemade firearms.
Oh, wow.
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, because because if there was a grandfather clause, now they got to prove when you made it.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be a good
Go ahead,
challenge.
Michael.
But I thought they were even trying to go back and take away grandfather laws from prior legislation. I thought I saw that in some of the legislation they were trying to get through. Is that right, or am I mistaken?
I'm not as educated on it as I should be, but like Virginia just sucks. They're just trying to take everything away from you. Like I hear a lot of people are regretting their choices. They're implementing taxes on everything.
Mhm.
Like it's ridiculous. Like you get a gym membership tax, you get a food delivery tax, you got fucking soon will be a tax-free there. So
Yeah.
Well, we're happy to have you down in North Carolina, just right across the border.
Yeah, man. Where are you in Virginia?
I'm in Northern Virginia.
Nova.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah, Nova. But I have a lot of family in Southern Virginia. And so
Come on down, man.
I'm more than happy to. It sounds like a fun state.
It is.
Yeah.
And the most important border in the world. It's not between Ukraine and Russia. It's not between Iran and everybody else. It's between Virginia and North Carolina. Because God help us if we got to rely on South Carolina.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Crazy
No.
times.
So yeah, no, absolutely. We gotta make a stand somewhere.
I agree.
We gotta stop that Yankee horde.
Oh yeah.
Man, and that's crazy, man. Only 8 months.
Yeah. So, I worked a 9 to 5 for a couple years. So my background is digital marketing. So creating content was always something that I've always done. Except I did it for a moving company and a carpet cleaning company. It's really hard to make content when you're not passionate about it. And July last year, I was just like, dude,
You're not passionate about clean carpets? I mean, have you ever seen a dirty carpet?
it is pretty cool to see them clean.
I mean, yeah.
But that's about it, man. And so I was like, you know what? Screw this. I had $3,000 saved up. I live with mom and dad. I was like, hey, I just need you guys to trust me. They didn't trust me,
Right.
but I still quit my job and ended up making firearms content. And here we are today. It's absolutely insane how far I've been able to get.
So you make it, forgive me, I'm banned from literally every social media platform to include X.
Yeah.
You make mostly for Instagram?
Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on YouTube. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
They have so
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
restrictions. They're like Spam Burger.
Yes. I've had to deal with so many restrictions. So I had this one video. I dropped a video on the Glock FRT, within the first week, I went up to like 60,000 views, and this was when I had like 3,000 subs. So I was like excited, like, oh, this is great for the channel.
Mhm.
And then the next day, I was like, yo, what happened to the video?
Poof.
It got taken down because there was a little scene that they didn't like. Didn't give me a chance to appeal and edit it. They just said, nope, you're screwed.
Yep.
So I re-uploaded the video. I added the beginning. I was like, YouTube sucks. Make sure you sub. You know, I talk shit a little bit. And the video blew up again, and it's at 100K views. And at this moment, I only have about 16 to 17,000 subs. So I will take those 100K views anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I was going to ask, since I'm not on those platforms, what kind of content you do? Is it like reviews?
So I've been a consumer. I've
been
on YouTube my whole life, and I realized that a lot of these people take content really seriously. So I try to make entertainment. I try to have fun with it. I'm like, hey, this is an FRT, watch it go. I just do a bunch of fun stuff with friends at the range. You know, I think it's people after a day of work just want to sit down, relax, and just have some fun.
Sure.
Turn their brain off. It's like when you watch Fast and Furious or like Transformers. It's like you can't take it too seriously.
I mean, if you did, then God bless you.
Yeah, bless you.
So just a little bit of a lighter side of the Second Amendment.
Robot aliens from outer space have invaded Earth. Yeah, if you take that seriously, then
disbelief.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Yeah, I get just make entertainment. That's
and I'm glad you haven't been banned yet. A lot.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I need that.
It is a wooden table, so
yeah.
I'll tell you guys.
It is
I'll tell you guys a really stupid thing about YouTube. Experience me and Frank had. We were doing a podcast very similar like this. We were talking about a firearm, which I think we showed a picture of it. We didn't actually show the firearm. No. Actually, Frank had it, and he held it up kind of like this, right? So he holds up the firearm like this. You know, trigger's down over here. He's holding it like this for a moment just to show it on the screen. Go through the entire live stream, which is about 2 hours long. I think we went maybe 2.5, and we ended it literally 30 seconds after we finished the live stream. YouTube struck it, and they gave us, and they'll give you a notification on why they struck it. Sometimes they took the last 5 seconds when there was just us people speaking and said, oh, there was a gun on the screen and you had your hand on the trigger. I'm like, wait a minute. One, that never happened in the entire live stream. And the time code you put on, there was just 3 people on the screen. What are you talking about? You just made it up. They're like, no, it's illegal. And by the way, holding a firearm is not against the rules of YouTube. And they're like, we just made up this rule. It's like, it's not in your rules. That's not actually a rule. Can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean,
I
that's the beauty of policy, right? You can just make it up on the fly, so it just fits whatever nonsense they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, seeing it with a lot of other gun tubers is one of my main sources of entertainment. Of it's I think what Brandon Herrera talks about it pretty well. Of there's so much self censorship. They do it once or twice, and then you kind of just learn, oh, I can't do this, or oh, I shouldn't do this. And it's and I don't ridiculousness.
I won't do business with somebody if they won't tell me what the rules are, and they just keep changing the rules to fit, whatever the feeling of the day is, and that's fine. I mean, via con Dios, but I'm not going to do business with you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't if we can't have clear rules of, pardon the metaphor, but rules of engagement. It's like, so how do you expect us to do anything?
Right. Here's the double-edged sword, though. Where do you go to watch your videos?
YouTube, and you have it's.
I don't watch videos. I print guns.
Yeah. So it's just unfortunate. It's like Google has 98% of the search engine shares. YouTube probably has a huge amount for videos. So it's unfortunate that is the platform that we're stuck with. Like, you could try Rumble, you could try Kick, and all those other platforms, but there's not really a community on there. YouTube, unfortunately, is a titan in the industry. And so it's just having to navigate that. It sucks, but it's part of the process of being a gun tuber.
Yeah, well, and that, so Rumble people is actually important, because that's one of the things that makes what we do possible.
Yeah.
Because it's not enough to just have a printer that makes guns. I mean, you know, if you know everything that you're doing, I mean, heck, you could CAD the frame for, you know, a Glock style firearm or an AR-15 or whatever. You could do it yourself, and then you could do all the settings for your printer, and then you could print it out. You don't need anybody to do anything. But that requires skill sets that for one person to have would be very, very difficult. For lots of people to have is practically impossible. And additionally, the assembly of the completed frame or receiver is also difficult, and having video, right, resources available to show people how to do it is critically important. But I can't do that on YouTube.
Dude, oh my gosh, the amount of FRT install videos that have been taken down, because
Right.
a lot of my content is FRT. Dude, all of the install videos are on Rumble or Vimeo or somewhere else, because YouTube doesn't allow you to even just take apart the upper and lower receiver.
Yeah. Frank was telling me that when he did the takedown pin in the back of an AR, he got
exactly.
actually he got punished harsher than Alec Baldwin did for shooting somebody.
That's true.
Absolute insanity.
So, yeah, I mean, so I just won't, you know, if you don't respect me enough as a customer, as a partner, to tell me, you know, what the rules are for your platform, and then apply them consistently across, you know, everybody else, then you know, hey, you're not going to have me as a customer. You're not going to have as a partner. And that's just it. I understand for you know, other people, hey, you know, that's what you got, right? But like you said, that's where the community is.
Exactly. But if I had a choice, obviously I would choose anybody else. But unfortunate, yeah.
I think we all agree on that one. Hey, Kenny, have you ever fired a 3D printed firearm? Have you ever had that experience so far?
Yeah, so I'm actually really good friends with PSR.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so I was able to visit his home, and I spent a week there with him. We went to the range and we shot a bunch of some of the FGC-9. I think we shot.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so cool. I really want to build one. I think he's sending me his P80, so I can get one done before shit hits the fan in Virginia. But yeah, I just think the premise of them is so cool.
Yeah, there's mine.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Dude, and then like, if you can install an FRT in your printed guns.
So that's I've got a super safety in my backpack. Yeah. So I'm coming home with. We're testing.
Oh yeah, I even see that there are 3D printed super safeties that people sell. Like,
oh sure, yeah,
really good. I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's
the first one. Yeah, the first one was 3D
Hoffman
printed.
Tactical. They're 3D printed.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
It's since it's open source, that's when everybody started to do like the EDM cut metal ones.
Yeah.
And it's like, and how we were talking earlier, it seems like that's just natural progression.
Yep.
The 3D printed was the concept. It shows it works. And then boom, just full on metal production, and everybody and their brother sells them.
Yeah. 3D printing has really streamlined the R&D process. Insane.
Yeah. And the more people that get into it, especially, you know, in the next 5 to 10 years, when you see the prevalence of 3D printers for regular FDM, right? So what we've got today, plus, you know, metal, so like the SLS, where they're actually laser sintering, you know, metal to itself, and then CNC. You know, I mean, you've got more and more kind of tabletop,
that's
CNC machines.
So crazy. So I'm going to tell you my history with 3D printing. It's going to be really funny. I was in middle school. It was my birthday, and this was like 2012, 2013, 2014, when the early days of printing. And so my dad was like, hey, can I get a 3D printer? And obviously he encourages me to do, you know, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And so he bought me a 3D printer, and it was so much fun, but you have to like put the masking tape on, level everything.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that was the old days. I remember printing a Glock lower game and all that stuff. Like, I literally would go to middle school, come back, and my Glock would be done. I never built it, but it was just like, oh, I have a frame.
So I'm gonna interject here. You're not old enough to appreciate the emergence of the dot matrix printer, but back in the day when 2D printing was becoming a thing, we would have to hit print on our Michael knows, right? And then you'd go to sleep, and then you'd wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right
Got
before
the best
laser
by a
or any of
couple
that.
years.
And hope not to wake up to a box of spaghetti.
Yeah, and you'd have to hope, right, that it fed right throughout the night. And it's
Yeah.
to a certain extent, it's the same thing now.
Yeah. But dude, that PSU straight from China broke within like a month.
Oh, did it?
The PSU fried, and then I was like, maybe I'll return it and get another one. The company was like, it's like $500 to ship it back to China. You can just have it, we'll refund you.
Yeah.
And I just have that still sitting broken in my room, fucking 10 years later.
There's a lot of 3D printers that are just sitting,
Yeah.
collecting dust and clothes and jewelry and whatever. Because people, especially they get the cheaper ones, and I mean, you can spend $3,000 on a quality 3D printer today, and it'll work out of the box pretty well. You still have to slice stuff, but it will work, with very little tinkering. But the cheaper ones, you have to do the settings. You've got to go through the process, and we do that for you.
I've been hearing a lot. I forgot what they're called, but they're like, it just comes and it works off the box. Everybody
Bamboos.
Bamboos.
Yeah.
I've been hearing great things about those. I'd love to get my hands on them.
Yeah. Oh no, I will. I will
We'll
have
talk
one.
more.
Yeah.
We'll talk more. Yeah.
And yeah, so right now we're printing in PLA Plus. We print in that because it's a very good to excellent filament for the vast majority of the platforms that we support.
I see a lot of carbon fiber nylon now being prevalent.
Yeah, there's arguments to be made for and against. It really depends on the specific part and the uses. But ultimately, nylon is the ideal filament to use for all firearm frames and receivers that are 3D printed. I mean, obviously aluminum is better than nylon for the most part, but
I wish there was funny colors.
Yeah,
it's only black.
Well, we're working on that. There are other colors out there, but one of the biggest challenges with nylon is you've got to have some kind of system to either filter or vent.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very, very important. You don't need that with PLA Plus. If you're running just one printer, like I run, half a dozen to a dozen printers at a time, and
you got a print farm.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I'll have issues if I'm running them all simultaneously. You'll start to get a little bit of a headache if you don't have a window open. But you've got to do that with one printer with nylon. With nylon, you've got to dehydrate the filaments as you print. So yeah, there's a lot of issues. I want to focus on making sure that I perfect the PLA Plus, and again the entire process for the customer. Right, I want somebody to be able to buy it. I want them to be able to assemble it. I want them to be able to print. I want them to, and I want to make sure that there's a support system there in place for them should they have any issues.
It's like making it as easy as possible for someone who doesn't know much to just go and do it.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly. And then we'll start to worry about the more difficult things.
I'm that demographic.
Yeah. So am I.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I've been.
I'm with you, Ken.
I've been lucky because.
Yeah.
I am not the 3D printing guru. My partner had been 3D. We started in about 21. He had been printing for I think 15 years at that point. So yeah, I'm just.
That's over half my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just,
Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
let me ask something completely different out the box, because people may be interested in this, and it's kind of fun to always hear. So you've got the three of you there, different age groups, and I'm really interested. What is your favorite firearm to fire? Which one do you when you go out to the range, you always bring it with you, that you always want to fire it off? And then let me ask you one other thing. What's the firearm you've never fired that you want to fire? I can say question. For myself, I know what I want to fire. Twin 50 cals. I'm military.
Yeah.
Okay. I was in the Marines. I fired a lot of stuff. I've never had a chance to fire twin 50 cals. I just think they're damn cool. And I would love to fire that one day. That's me. I fired machine guns. I fired other stuff. So that's just one of my wish list things. But you guys, what's fun? What's your wish list?
Yeah.
Kenny, let's start with you, Kenny. You're youngest.
Okay, so this, not necessarily, I already have my answers for, okay, so a gun that I have not fired that I want to.
Yes.
Dude, bro, I don't even know how to shoot it. Like, I'm assuming it's just a button. Dude, I just want to press the button and see. That would be absolutely awesome. I mean, and the thing is, like, you see the tracers, it's like every 10 rounds or every 5 rounds. And so it's like shooting way faster than you see. That's
right.
That's on my list. Or warthog cannons.
Oh yeah.
Warthog.
Gal 8.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that's a Vulcan. That's a Vulcan. So, you know.
Vulcan, yes.
But how about you?
And I guess, so the gun that I like to fire the most is my carry, just a 43X. The one that I would like to shoot, I would like to shoot I think it was an FN. Was it 25 caliber, 32 caliber? The one that Gavrilo Princip used to shoot the Archduke Ferdinand.
Oh, Ferdinand?
That would be a cool gun to shoot. That's more historical than it is. Yeah.
That's like a 32.
Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah, but
it was either a 32 or 20. It was a.
Yeah, I think it's 32.
But I would love to shoot that gun.
I didn't know
You're talking old school, all right.
World War I.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Old school.
But that has more historical reasons than it does.
Very fair.
Yeah.
It is.
But I mean, I would still like to shoot a twin 50, you know, or a minigun or whatever. But I mean, if you're telling me I can pick any one gun, it would be that one.
Okay, you know what? That's a fair choice.
Mine.
I didn't even think of historicals. So I mean, there's a couple of historical ones that could be interesting. But go ahead.
Or the one the black powder that John Parker shot at Lexington.
Yeah.
Right.
Another good choice. Yep. Go ahead, Dalen.
Fantastic. The gun that I would love to shoot the most is, and because I'm curious on this one of why you chose the name FPS Kenny for FPS Russia. So if that's any relation, then I would kill to get my hands on an AA-12, full auto AA-12, just like he did, dual wield if possible. That's just ridiculous. I know it's a giant hunk of plastic, but to have almost a zero recoil full auto 12 gauge is absolutely insane. The gun I like to shoot the most, I've yet to shoot my carry because I've just not been able to get out to. I know it works, but it's problematic.
Don't say that in public.
I know, but it's. I think it would be good. I think it'll be good because it's a slight upgrade. It's
what is it?
It's a 365 XL macro. Ooh. It's a macro, but then it's radionized. So I got the 3.7 barrel with the ramjet afterburner. I just put the Olight PLX on it. Okay. Crazy light. The Romeo X sight. It's got the backstrap magwell combo. I got the mags, the base pads to match. I had the 3.1 barreled one, so it was flush. And that shot nice. Like, that ramjet is insane. So the fuller barrel one, for it to be that much better, I am excited for it. I just need to make it out to the range. I just like to shoot guns. Give me anything, and I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna enjoy it. So that's a hard question.
Now I gotta think about my favorite gun. I'm a big PCC guy. I'm gonna say the Nexus Evo Scorpion.
Solid choice.
I love the Scorpion. I just wish it was better stock, but once you do the Nexus upgrade to it, roller delayed, so much better. So, yeah, that's definitely my favorite gun that I like to take.
There's another one that we have in our Mac 11.
Mac 11.
Yeah.
There's an FRT coming up in there.
Yeah. So
nice. Hell yeah.
So I had to go mute for a little while because unlike you guys, I'm happen to be right now in the most glorious of states, New York, in New York City, which is
why would you do that?
There's plenty of firearms, not as much fun.
Yeah.
So there's that. So we had some background noise, so I apologize if you guys heard that for a little bit.
Oh,
good.
Although it's not as bad as in the 80s, because then I heard every firearm. We had lots of them going off all the time. not quite what they were thinking of, though. I tell you, slightly different context. The '80s, way before you guys were born. It was inexperienced. Let me tell you. I'm a little bit older than I look. Probably a lot older than I look. I don't know. But anyway, um, that's just me. What can I say?
Yeah,
All
it's pretty cool. You know, so what's I've been walking around. Frank's been walking around. To be blunt, I haven't today I've had to try to pay attention because I feel like yesterday is just like scouting and looking and watching, just seeing what's out there. With both of you guys, what's some like neat stuff you've seen? You know, anybody got anything like super crazy?
So I found Zermatt Arms. They're a 10-year-old company, but they make this like full metal striker fired gun. It's Glock mags, but dude, it has the crispiest trigger. So apparently they took the design of a Remington 700 trigger, added a disconnector, and put it inside a semi-auto pistol.
Okay. Great.
Remington 700 is already technically a striker fired gun. They just adapted the bolt system to be semi-auto. Super cute. It's like $4,000 handgun, but
Jesus.
that sounds really cool. The trigger is so light and so crispy.
It'd be even cooler if I was selling them instead of buying them. I'd love to be selling a $4,000 handgun.
Yeah. So
Good Lord.
I know who I'm sending an email right after this event ends. So yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Where are they at?
they're a little bit. They're down this way.
Really? I
Yeah.
haven't seen them.
Towards right behind the Hollow Sun booth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
A bolt gun trigger adapted to a semi-automatic
Dude,
handgun.
it's the nicest trigger I've felt.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude, freaking optics-wise, Hollow Sun. So they came out with the Pro Max, but they did a version where the bezels are even thinner. So it's a big window, thin bezels, and it's from Hollow Sun. So a lot of companies have made that type of design, but it's nice to see that companies big like Hollow Sun can see that and apply it to the product that they're coming out with.
Right.
So that's really cool as well.
Yeah, so yesterday I was pretty much here on Radio Row all day doing interviews, and so I really didn't get a chance to see any of the floor until this morning. And I've only been looking at I'm looking for suppliers, you know, for the kits to complement the printers we're going to be selling. So I haven't really been out there kind of like looking for the latest and greatest. So I am not the person to talk to. However, I can say that Atrius, they were good enough to give me their a sample of their FRT there, so that you can shoot fully semi-automatic. And I am looking forward to testing that and seeing if you know it works in our builds.
Let me know if you need any help with that.
Yeah,
that's my cup of tea right
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and I also wanted to talk to them about going forward, right? And finding developing FRTs for other platforms like the Mac 11, Tech 9 we have.
There's so many companies popping up. People just like grab their favorite guns and just figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Like I helped with the R&D process on the Chris Vector FRT, which is
Really
absolutely nuts. I was one of the, I think like I dropped the second video on it. The Beretta FRT, Beretta 92.
Okay.
Beretta M92, M9, the Glock FRT. It's like there's so many now.
Yeah, I've only tried one. I'm not going to say the name. It worked flawlessly in my Gen 5. I tried to put it in my one of my prints.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what slide I was using. I don't know what it was, but I was having issues with it. They actually sent out a couple different versions, you know, a couple different configurations. So I'd only used one, but I've got it. That's going to be on my short list of things to do.
Glock FRT, there's so many different tolerances with the Glock. So at least on the OEM ones, you're somewhat consistent, but when you start doing the printed ones,
exactly.
it gets so.
And especially when you start using different manufacturers and that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. But that's one of the places where we can come in and add value, because we do the testing and we find out what the answer is, so that then you don't have to do that. You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to go and buy, you know, an FRT and hope that this is going to work with the print. You'll know it does, or that if it doesn't, you know, it's user error. But you can give us a call and we will absolutely walk you through the process. We'll figure it out. And then, I mean, we'll be that nexus, right? We'll be that that hub of information, so that when we do figure out what's going wrong, we can make sure that everybody has that information.
I think that's really crucial for the FRT scene, just because things are so different and it takes a lot of tuning. But like,
right,
people need some of that.
Yeah, no, and it's something that it is one of the kind of wins that we've had in the last couple of years. So we absolutely have to take full advantage of it while we can.
Yeah.
Well, we need more wins.
What do you have there, Frank?
Oh, Frank's back. What you doing, Frank?
Oh, look at that! Here, hold it up.
Frank, what
Don't let me
is
touch
that?
it. I might take it.
Yeah, don't let Kenny near it.
It's so cool.
David,
Now, what is this for?
Is that?
Fiocchi. It's a Fiocchi like 150 years of
No, but why did somebody give that to you? You buy
like
that?
memorabilia coin. No, we didn't.
Obviously not.
Oh, you're.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I obviously don't believe it.
I got a distribution contract with Fiocchi.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Fiocchi.
okay.
150
so we
years
have
of
no
Fiocchi.
idea what Frank's saying. What Dalen? What's
oh,
Frank
I'm
saying?
sorry.
Yeah.
So
That's
he's
all right.
he's got a contract. Under contract with him?
He
He's got a.
signed a deal like a dealer contract for the store for Fiocchi. They're the ammunition manufacturer, and it's a commemorative coin for 150 years. It's pretty cool. And Frank, being the snake oil salesman that he is, trying to convince us he paid $5,000 for that. It's not even in focus.
Had it in focus for half a second. Oh, right. 5,000?
I like Frank.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what spot price of gold is these days.
Well, God, yeah. Depends on the day. Remember, we just saw oil go down, so gold went
Yeah,
up.
right. Well, hey, look, I mean, my what I like to tell people is invest in knowledge, because everything else is denominated in fiat.
That's an interesting
pretty
way to look at
solid
that.
advice.
Okay, fair enough. By the way, we can mention that the store, when you mentioned the store,
Not
Dalen,
exactly, but
it happens to be Primer Strike FFL. Just, nothing wrong with mentioning the name. Get that out
He's
there.
plugging
Yeah, no.
he's plugging your shop, Frank.
Hey,
Frank, you're
I'm a
ready
good
to come
host.
back?
I haven't even mentioned my show yet.
Yeah, I'll get out of here. No, it's fine. You stay. I've had plenty of time.
yeah, you guys have.
Am I giving everybody break time? This is.
Oh, okay. Well, no.
break time.
No, you're here with me, Kenny. You're here with me.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
So,
well, I don't know. That's not. Maybe it's good or bad. I don't know. We'll figure it out along the way. I'm the old man. Don't worry about that. So yeah, man. So you got the channel. And the channel's growing.
yeah.
And I gotta ask you.
Yes.
Is that because you're getting a lot of older fuddy-duddies like me watching that, or you got younger people who are watching you? And I gotta wonder, what do your friends say to you about this is what you do? I mean, obviously they'll say it's a lot more sexy and a lot more fun than, doing the rug cleaning. I get it. But I mean, are they like, well, I'm with you, or are they like, why'd you do that?
Honestly, I think a lot of people in my generation know that you can be successful online, and so I've been so lucky that I've had supportive friends. Like, even when I first started, I had a guy who was like, "Yeah, I just have an AK and like 1,000 rounds of 7.62 that's been just sitting here. You could please go take it and film content." So all my friends have let me borrow their guns and do whatever I needed to do, and they've been super supportive and encouraging. I think when you kind of break out of that 9-to-5 shell that a lot of people are in, people like cheer you on for that. So nothing but support. Parents, on the other hand, they're Asian parents. It took a little bit of convincing. I was able to introduce them to Short Shot Tony, who's a larger, more successful Vietnamese content creator. And after introducing them to him, they were like, "Oh, if he can do it, you can do it." So we got a little bit of approval from them as well.
It's kind of like the old
yeah.
in the older days before my time.
Yeah.
That was whenever kids wanted to be an actor, the parents were like, "No," and then they'd be famous, and then they're like, "Well, I guess it's okay." That's kind of where we're at now with that. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
and then,
folks, Frank is back with us. Frank has come back from
He
his
is.
trip.
Yes.
Hi, Frank. Nice to meet
Hello.
you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice that on my own show I had to take a hiatus and
Yeah.
let everybody else run it. And now the funny thing is the control panel is on the other side of the table where I don't have any access to it.
You want to switch spots?
So I'm a guest on my own
because-
show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome. Welcome to Liberty for Sundays.
Welcome to the FPS Kenny Show,
Maybe-
guys.
Frank, the
right.
audience,
All right,
they get
now-
to deal with me, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, well.
By the
well,
way, I was not keeping an eye on the comments. Somebody said to tag the show on your Instagram.
Yeah.
So make sure you do that.
100%. Get some clips out, too.
Some cross promotion,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of these
Like-
days,
we need some followers.
I'm going to
Everybody.
be.
too, Frank.
Everybody there
We all
needs likes,
Yeah.
shares,
We'll collab,
subscribe.
all four of us. And
Yeah, well, except me, I'm not on social media. I'm probably going to make another attempt shortly. I'm relaunching the website, and when I do that, I will, and I'm going to start a marketing campaign. I will
maybe
bite
I'll
the
part
bullet. Yep,
Yeah.
and well, get back on socials.
All right, now I'm going to ask you the question: how old are you?
Take a guess.
24.
Well, he's got to be at least 21 because he can't purchase a firearm otherwise. So I'm going to say he's 23. And then he's going to. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
24.
he already told
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well, what the hell do you want? I was over there buying iced tea for
Hey,
everybody.
you're 1 year off. You're pretty good.
So, by the
Well-
way, just now, I don't know about Virginia, but in North Carolina, you can absolutely 100% buy a handgun at 18.
Yeah, at 18. Well,
Right.
now that the
You
law
just can't buy from an FFL.
So
It's got to be
That-
from a private
same
sale.
thing with Virginia.
Okay.
Growing up, it was like 18 for long guns, 21 for a handgun.
Right.
Well, Virginia's law is actually a little bit goofier now because it says that anybody under the age of 21, if they want to fire, they have to go with an adult. So a 20-year-old
Yes.
can go to the range, and as long as they're being supervised by someone who's 18.
Yes. An
Wait,
adult.
what?
An adult is legally defined as anybody 18 years or older. So to purchase a firearm, you have to be 21 and older and with an adult.
So if a 21-year-old wants to buy a gun, he's got to bring his 18-year-old sister.
Yes.
Or they will go to the range. The 18-year-old sister or brother has to be able to police and monitor and supervise that. So
It's absolutely ridiculous. The law.
this is what happens when you have stupid people electing stupider people because they don't understand anything. But anyway, getting back to your issue, one of the reasons why Vass has been doing the whole social media thing and internet media thing for a shit ton longer than I've been. And I always say I got into this 10 years late and 10 years too old. You know, so I'm at a 20-year deficit at trying to build audience because, you know, who wants to listen to a fat old Italian guy? You know, when I'm trying to give you advice on guns, you know, so it's different. You guys have grown up with a different mindset about media because it's been such a huge part of your life from inception, where we had to, even though we were the generation that, in other words, pretty much developed all of it, put the platforms together. I mean, you never had to sit through the dial tone for AOL.
Yeah.
Okay, you never sat and had to deal with, you've got mail. You never had to deal with any of that. We did, okay? But for those of us that did it, you know, the technology was moving so far and so fast while we were still in the beginning of it that when we all got locked into a certain ritual, a certain routine, that's where we got trapped. And then when the younger generation came along, by the time I was 35, there's people on social media that are already doing something that, I'm like, how the hell do they do that? I mean, there's people, I know how to make phone calls and receive phone calls, maybe a text message or two. Where's my, oh, here, on the telephone. And everybody else has got an entire recording studio in their phone. I can barely send a friggin' text message. You know, so for us to do it, this is one of those, this is younger generation for guidance and how to do it. And, you know, it's like, okay, who the hell is going to help us? You'll get to that thing. And then I say, okay, well, you got all the experience, but I've got a lot of guns. So let's work together and figure.
Let's definitely do something.
I've been trying to figure out ways where smaller content creators will be able to work together and pool their resources, whether whether it's financial resources, time resources, followings and stuff like that, to be able to work together to actually start building up an audience. Because
I'd love to.
just because you have one follower don't mean he can't follow me, or mine can't follow you. They follow whatever they want to. But if we start pooling resources, sharing our sponsorship, having more collaborative efforts, then we all grow the channels.
It's a win-win, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, we can't let Hickok dominate every damn thing.
Well, you know
What's
what
that?
it is? What you're talking about is doing something like Friday Night Tights. You guys have heard of that. You know Nerdrotic and that crew doing entertainment movies and such. Am I the only one who knows that? Okay. Well, anyway, you got your whole panel talking about all different aspects of entertainment. You got like 10 guys and some women that are coming on, and they talk about that. And they're just one example of it. And it's interesting because you don't have that really in the two-way space where you have a regular conversation of like, hey guys, you know, we were all out at the range, and here's 5 guys all out the range, all fired whichever firearm. This is what we think. And just talk about that, 5 of you all. And you don't have to be at the same spot, just on the same podcast at the same time. That, I think, would be really cool to hear. You know, that sounds kind of interesting to me. I mean, what do you think, Kim? Am I wrong? Does that sound like an idea? Would you watch that?
Well, I'm trying to read a document that was placed out of my. I had to give myself a cross-faced chicken wing in order to grab the document off the table. And as soon as I got the document in my hand, this one over here steals it, and I couldn't read it. And I'm trying to listen to you at the same time. And you wonder why I have stress.
You have stress.
Okay, for immediate.
You're frank. Go on.
For immediate release. Colorado Springs man elected youngest ever member of National Rifle Association Board of Directors at age 26. Attends directors. I don't have my glasses on. Give me some credit. Attends the NRA National Convention. Huey Laugenson, the 25-year-old executive director of the Colorado State Shooting Association, has been elected the youngest ever member of the National Rifle Association Board of Directors.
You hear that?
He is in attendance.
Got time.
Yeah, I got a couple months. Yeah.
He is in attendance at the NRA National Convention that is scheduled for this week in Houston, Texas. Langston's election marks a historic milestone for the CSSA, giving hope that a new generation of leadership with one of the nation's most prominent civil rights organizations will lead the effort to restore and protect gun rights in Colorado and our nation.
Good luck.
Yeah, it's Colorado.
It's Colorado.
Well, all he's got to do is hand out dubs, and he'll get people to vote whichever way he wants to.
Some of the absolute dumbest people ever elected to office come from Colorado.
His election comes at a time of heightened national debate surrounding firearm policy, where grassroots mobilization and legal advocacy continues to play a critical role. National organizations continue to look to work with CSSA and the leadership team to defend the Second Amendment in Colorado, and in Huey's election is another example of this. There is a very large crowd screaming about something.
Yeah.
A couple aisles over. Somebody just want a gun.
It's probably free stuff.
Yeah, free stuff does it. It's either the Daniel Defense booth, or I heard that Springfield is giving away 7 guns today. What time is it now here?
I gave away a
Yep,
bunch of
it's
guns.
Springfield. Springfield is giving away firearms. As executive director of the CSSA, Langston has led efforts across Colorado to defend and advance the Second Amendment. This is one of the things I can't stand about press releases. There are 6.5 paragraphs.
Too long.
Each paragraph consists of one run-on sentence, and each of the 6 paragraphs says the same frigging thing 6 different ways.
That's because they
Yeah,
don't
you
have
lost
good
me at
people.
for immediate release.
Yeah, that's because they don't have people who actually learned how to write English in 6th grade. They don't.
No, I mean
they suck. They really do.
It's very well written, but it's like saying
No, it's not.
that dog over there is brown, and somebody says there's a brown dog over there. Okay, you just said the same thing. How many other?
It's the brownest dog you'll ever see.
Yes, it's the doggiest brown.
Yeah.
It's
you'll
not
ever-
cat brown. It's
Right.
brown dog brown, which is extremely, and
Right.
brown dogs
know.
are actually kind of uncommon these days.
Frank, you know, you give me 15 minutes, I can rewrite that whole thing and make it 3 paragraphs that'll actually be worth reading. And you know
I'm-
that.
I
You've
am
seen me
glad
do
that
it before.
The NRA has just elected their youngest board member ever, because I was afraid actually that they were all going to die off by the end of the weekend. So
They need me in their marketing department, man.
Yeah, you know,
All right.
Oh, what do we have?
I'm gonna make the people in New York very jealous right now. I'm gonna show you.
Scared. They're
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
show you
terrified.
something that you're not allowed to have in New York. Are you ready?
Ooh. Is that 3A?
oh, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
This is body armor. Body armor, folks. This is body armor. And Patrick Hinshaw, a good friend of ours, is stopping by. He's going to tell us about this. This guy produces some of the most cutting-edge body armor on the market today, and he's got a great shop here in North Carolina. And
Where's he in
hopefully,
North Carolina? Near us?
he'll explain where he is. However, not only will this be available in his shop, but eventually this stuff will be available at your local Primer Strike FFL in Mint Hill, North Carolina, where we carry premier products for premier customers. And his Vass over there, he's punching plates on his own show. What are you running there? Oh,
Well,
Is that just what, steel,
honestly,
aluminum? What do they let you have there in New York?
I can't say too much about it because, believe it or not, I am literally breaking the law right now in New York State. This is absolutely illegal for some reason because
All right,
somehow
so
this is endangering people. So I don't talk too
so
much
what
about
Vass
it.
did is see, now plate carriers are legal, but plates aren't. So what Vass did is he cut down a Tefal frying pan
Right.
into the shape of the home plate and slid it down the front of his plate
just an
carrier.
odd
It's gonna- it's a nice.
It's a prop. It's a prop.
Didn't they do that in
It's
Back to
not
the
a
Future
prop.
3?
It's a prop. It's a prop
not a
body armor. I'm trying to keep you out of trouble, Vass. Vass,
Oh.
they're gonna come knocking down your door. Kathy,
If Alec Baldwin shot you,
yeah, Kathy
you wouldn't
Hochul and
try.
Alec Baldwin are coming to your door with the what's his name, Mayor Swami, whatever the hell his name is, and that Punjabi pajama girl from the Congress over there. The hell is her name?
I have no idea what AOC.
No, the other one. What's the Congress?
Wait a minute.
Congresswoman
one?
Pajama.
You're mixing up like 4 people all at once. First, of
We're
all,
talking
there's
New York,
Ann
right?
Dami, AOC,
No.
Ilhan Omar. Are you talking about?
Hey, Ilhan Omar is
Yeah, it's the jalopies.
she's
Yeah,
from,
pajama
like,
jalopy.
Jayapal
That's the one.
Is
Washington
from
State.
Washington State.
yeah.
Yeah, I know, but they don't care where they're from. They think they rule you.
Wow, they can
They
think
think
whatever
that.
they want.
They think
Am
that,
I
yes.
giving my seat up to this gentleman?
Yeah, I'm.
Okay,
actually,
no, that's fine.
We're gonna do a little bit of shuffling around over here because I got to get Patrick in here so he can tell us about the body armor. I got to get closer to the computer because I got a whole shitload of work I got to do on that.
Thank you
So
for
we're gonna
having
run
me,
around?
guys. I'll give him my spot.
Brother, thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
coming in.
We'll be in talk. 'cause
Cool.
you guys
I'm
are
gonna
not too far
when
from
we're
me.
done here wrapping up, I'm gonna come by and speak to you guys.
Perfect. Sounds
All right,
great.
awesome. All right, we're gonna do a bunch of switching around. Give us about 10 seconds.
All right.
Go to
Well,
beararms.com and
folks, I
I gotta
want
get
to-
you a 3D printer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Kenny. And as you can see, we're rearranging.
Absolute
because
pleasure.
This is live. We are doing it live.
Hey, man,
right
yeah.
in front
Yeah,
of you
thank you very
folks.
much.
Yeah, well,
It's been a very exciting day. We've had some great conversations talking about 3D printing,
At least
about
I know who you. At least I
the
know who
youth
you
getting involved with the Second Amendment. It does happen, and they're not all losing their minds about it. We've talked about what's happening down in Virginia. We've been talking about here in New York just recently. We've gotten to see some of the firearms that many people enjoy to fire just because. We've had a lot of conversation here today, and we've been having a great conversation. As you can see, we have Frank Johnson, who's on with Primer Strike FFL. We've had Dalen, who's been here with us. He stepped away for just a moment. Folks, this is what we want to do, to share with you the Second Amendment, to share with you the views, the ideas, the technology, the new developments that are coming out there, and to let you know what's going on. Do you know what you need to do, folks? You need to like, share, and subscribe, because without your support, well, this channel doesn't exist. Without your support, the Second Amendment doesn't exist. They're both connected. You want to support the Second Amendment, you have to support this channel. You have to hit like, share, and subscribe. And most of all, to subscribe so that we are able to celebrate the Second Amendment, to celebrate these kinds of live events, to make sure that no one feels like they are alone, to make sure that everyone is able to celebrate the Second Amendment in the way that they want to celebrate it, and not to let people like the Virginia Governor Spamberger, or people like AOC, or Jayapal, Representative Jayapal from Washington State. They can't take away your rights. We can't let them do that. They can't take away your entertainment, your hobbies, your self-protection. They can't do that. Not if we're all paying attention, not if we do simple things just like celebrate each other in being able to enjoy the Second Amendment, to enjoy our freedoms and our rights together. And by the way, if you're in North Carolina, you should check out my good friend Frank Johnson's new FFL. It's called Primer Strike. It will be opening up next week, the 25th. I wanted to drop on by and check that out because, again, that's celebrating the Second Amendment. And I'm sure he would appreciate that. I know I would appreciate you doing that for my good friend. We do have another guest that's going to be coming on in just a few moments. I don't know who this is, but I'm looking forward to this. Frank's going to clue us in just a moment. Once he centers his camera and he has the microphones on, we know Frank is just the best tech whiz ever. Are you there now, Frank?
Yes, I am here. I am the tech whiz of tech wizardry. I'm able to use a remote control.
There you go.
Boy. And listen, for me, that's kind of a stretch.
Trust me, I know.
All right.
But that's all
so
right,
this
folks.
is my buddy Patrick Henshaw, and this. All right, Pat. This is Mike Vasquez. He's the Dragon of the Southern Tier.
Awesome.
He's New York's only truly independent journalist. Let me see. Let's see. Let's give you guys a little round of applause. Hey, everybody's here. Look at that.
All right,
I'm using sound effects on the show today. That's how damn good we are.
That's right.
All right, so Patrick has got. Oh, all right, so Maverick is the store that Patrick owns. These guys carry some of the best premier body armor that you'll find any place, anywhere, and you guys have got a pretty boutique type facility that you guys got. So give us a little lowdown on what you guys do and what you guys have.
Well, Frank, thanks for having us.
It's always a pleasure. And we run into each other at these events, not even on the show floor. We like 3 miles away at a restaurant, and it's like, oh, there's Pat.
That's right.
We're running into each other outside. You and your wife, your son's with you.
Absolutely.
Here today too.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
We're glad to be here. Thank you for having us. We're out of Central North Carolina, Burlington, North Carolina to be exact. We're body armor manufacturer. That's our main line. Speaking of our store, we just moved into our new store. We were able to pull everything in under one roof. So, Frank, we had our nice store, a little bit of square footage, not a lot. And then we had our facility where we make and facility where we warehouse everything and ship everything, online orders, things of that nature. We were able, the beginning of this year, to pull everything together under one roof. So now I've got a larger showroom that's still our boutique. It is boutique-ish. It's very nice. With we have nice cases, everything. When people walk in, it's very, very cool, very nice. Man cave-ish, very man cave-ish.
Well, there was a design element that I had in mind when I was thinking about opening my FFL. And the design element that I wanted to look like was your store. And unfortunately, due to the constraints of finances and time and space, I wasn't able to have that leather wingback, brass buttons, smoking room appeal.
There you go.
Considering, I mean, you guys have got one type of product that you're selling, even though you've got a variety of it, it's still in one vein that you guys are able to concentrate on. I got to have a whole bunch of stuff. For me to have a boutique shop where I'm selling fishing lures, right, or steel targetry or anything else like that, mine is a little bit more comic book. I got in design. Where yours is a little bit more refined. Yeah. You expect to see Sean Connery walking out of the fitting room at his store. Yes, just one would suffice.
I do have John Wick up on the wall, so I've got a big picture of John Wick. Nice. Give it that look. We have we're probably about the third largest knife shop or store in North Carolina.
Oh yeah, but you're not carrying some knockoff.
Exactly. No, we carry top notch.
These guys are if you listen, this is not the place that you're going to go to if you're going to be shy of treating yourself to the best. These guys carry the best of the best. They're worth the money that you're going to spend because you guys stand behind your product, you warranty the product, and you guys are the face of the product. You're not, you guys are in there, they're manufacturing it, distributing it, selling it, and you are the face to the public. You can't, if it's not like anybody in New York who remembers Crazy Eddie, the guy who was on the commercials going, the prices are so low, they're insane. That was not Crazy Eddie. Okay, that was just an actor, who was a character. That guy could afford to be an idiot and afford to mislead people. But when your family business is your family business and you're the one representing it, you're the person whose face that they're going to associate with that business.
Exactly right.
You've got to be above par all the time.
That's exactly right.
And these guys I know are that. These guys are like, they're if you want to have the kind of shop that's going to cater to you the right way, that you're going to get an excellent product, you're gonna pay up for it, but it's worth what you're paying. These are the guys you want to come and see. And you got a sample over here.
I do. So yeah, I tell people, Frank, you can find less expensive body armor. You can, but we know where this is made. We know where the materials came from. It's all U.S. made. We stitch it right there in the back room, put the cover on it, put all the layers together, QC it, and so we know that it's great armor. So can you find less expensive stuff? Absolutely. But we stand behind her literally, right? Not literally, but no.
Well, you can stand behind it.
We could.
This is armor you can. Armor, that's a great tagline. Right. Armor you can stand behind. That's a great tagline.
Yeah, that is.
Lori always tells me that I should have went into advertising because I got a good brain for it. Write that down.
Right.
Armor you can stand behind.
Okay. So
if you don't write it down, I'm gonna write it. You know what's on? It's recorded on my stream. I own it. So I'm gonna lend it to you.
All right.
And you can use it.
The panel that I brought today is our newest, latest, and greatest. A lot of people are familiar with the old NIJ ratings of 2A2, 3A, 3, and 4. Mm-hmm. NIJ has changed that. It changed last year. They adopted the new ratings now. So now it's HG1, HG2, RF1, RF2, RF3. It changed some as far as the ballistics. It changed from distance being shot. It changed from angles that were being shot from. So particularly in this panel, this is an HG2 panel, one that we really, I really love this panel because it's the new 3A. You're going to stop up to 44 Magnum. In 3A, it was 6 shots straight on. Well, we all know that in the real world, it's probably not going to be exactly straight on, right? Sure. So I think NIJ probably did the research and said, analytically, we're going to get some 30-degree shots, 45-degree shots up. So that's what they required in this new HG2 requirement or rating. So in the new HG2, we're not only are we 44 Magnum, but now we're 30-degree and 45-degree shots, and it has to be enveloped or caught in this panel. So it cannot ricochet out. It has to be captured in this panel. And that was not a requirement before.
And that's the one thing I've got to understand about when you're talking about body armor that's comprised of materials. You've got to weave in your material that's a certain tightness made out of a certain thread count, certain thread type, and all the rest of that.
Right.
It's if you have a round that's going in at a different angle, that it's not being stopped at the same level as dead on. If you put your fingers like that, you can carry a lot of weight. But if you catch that weight in one hand and you pull it apart, it's easier to separate.
Right.
So when you've got to be able to have that weave account for any angle that an impact is going to report from.
What's really cool, I love this, is the art. This is art. It really is. You have to. There's multiple pieces of material that you can choose from, right? As in ballistics, there's several different types of fabrics that you can choose from. But we look at like, which ones do we want? What weights do we want? What weave do we want? What order do we want all this in? Because you could put it in different orders to do different things. Kevlars are good at doing some things that polyethylenes are not. Polyethylenes are better at other things that Kevlar is not. So it's a science. It's an art, really.
Right.
And so that's what we've done, is put this package together at like a 1.2 pound, 1.1, 1.2. So it's very lightweight, very thin, very reasonable, and it bends.
And this is the big thing. When you got somebody like, if you guys have a moisture wicking top,
right,
that has got the panels, that's got pockets for panels, so you can put front, back. I believe you have side panels that you can put on these things. You have them in various sizes, so it'll fit, little skinny guys and big fat guys like me. But what's nice about these is not only do you have the rigidity of it when it gets hit, you've got the flexibility of it, so that when you're moving around, it's not like the old Kevlar of years ago, where my Kevlar vest that we did testing on from way back when from the police department was 3/4 of an inch of Kevlar.
Wow.
And that thing, when I sat in the patrol car, it was down here. I would get in the patrol car.
That's right.
It was like right up under my throat. This is, if you're wearing this under your uniform, under your shirt, it's going to conform to your body. It's extremely lightweight. And what's nice about it is there's no heat retention in this material. I noticed that whenever your final panel's up, it's room temperature or cooler. It doesn't seem to want to retain the heat from you, so he's still going to be able to breathe. And that wicking technology you use on your shirt is great, because that helps
as well. The one nice thing too that I like about this, Frank, you spoke of different sizes. A lot of companies, I shouldn't say a lot. There are companies that make similar shirts that we do for concealability. As far as I know, most of them use this is a 10 by 12 plate. Most of them use a 10 by 12 plate. Okay, a 10 by 12 plate on me, that's what we got. A 10 by 12 plate on you, that's what we got. Yeah. With our shirt, if I'm wearing a medium, what do you wear?
Double X.
You're wearing a 2X. With our shirt, the panel gets bigger with the shirt. As the shirt size goes up, the panel size goes up.
Smart.
Most companies sell you a shirt that's a 3XL with a 10 by 12.
10 by 12 in the middle
of
it.
So we move up with the shirt. Right. And so I think that's one of the things really that sets our panels apart, as well as the fact that it's a new HG2, NIJ specification.
And it's so lightweight. This is the lightest panel that I've seen in the market anywhere, and these guys are making it now. I know that the shirts, you can price them out depending upon the size and how many panels you're going to put in them.
Right.
So if I was going to have a panel for large, just down in the front, what kind of price range are we looking at?
So this is our Gen 2, our 2 shirt and Gen 2 HG2 armor. So all of that generates into the Generation 2. In Gen 1, we price things like stair stepping for sizes. We decided on this when we're doing one price across the board. If you're buying a small, you're buying a 3XL, it's the same price. And what we're doing on it is $419 is going to be front and back panel and the shirt. That's your upfront price there. That's a retail price. We put them on sale occasionally. And then $549 is going to be front, back, and 2 side plates as well as the shirt.
Right. Now, with the wicking technology that you guys have, go ahead, shoot.
Yeah. In terms
go
of the
go ahead.
Yeah. In terms of the shirt, what kind of shirt are we talking about? Is it something that's a little more formal wear, casual wear? Or do you have those different types of options?
Great question. So yeah, I wish I would have brought one of those to to the table here, but great question. So it's a typical standard T-shirt. What's the correct term? The non-correct term is wife beater. What's the correct term? It's just
it's like a tank.
tank top.
Be a
tank top.
Yeah.
Forget I said wife beater, guys. Tank top.
It's a guinea shirt.
Yeah.
We're older.
So
I know exactly what you mean.
that's really a yeah. So the tank top, I love that design. We kept that from the Generation 1 to the Generation 2 because we don't have sleeves. You're not generating any more heat or sweat, something that's going to make you sweat more. We want it as minimalistic as possible. Here's the thing. I have a lot of people come to my table and they go, "Hey man, can you make me a hoodie? You need the hoodies in ballistic hoodies. You need ballistic blazers, whatever." And I'm going, do you realize if I made a hoodie, how many college teams are there? Like, I'm a North Carolina fan, so I'd want a North Carolina, Frank's going to want, who are you?
I don't care.
Okay. Are you Yankees fan?
I haven't watched baseball since the strike.
Okay.
And I haven't. And the last football game I watched was the Redskins Dolphins Super Bowl. I think that was 1987.
Wow.
That was the last time I turned on. I'm not a sports fan. Unless people are punching each other in the face, I don't really watch it that much.
So forget sports, but color, right? Somebody wants a blue, somebody wants a black, whatever. So what I tell people is, you just put this T-shirt on, wear what you want to. Wear what you want to.
Yeah,
and then that way I don't have to worry about,
it's light enough as an undergarment, and it's
correct.
And it's virtually unnoticeable because because of the flexibility of the panel, it's forming to your shape, your body shape. So don't, if you got a gut, don't think that this is going to be like a girdle shirt where it's going to pull you in and it's going to make you all of a sudden look like an Adonis. It's not going to happen. You're still going to look like a fat bastard like me, but you're going to be a well-protected fat bastard. And that's what's important for you because because of the flexibility, it's more prone to help protect the vital organs because it's conforming to your body.
Yep.
Where you've got more rigid panels, if you sit, you move, it's exposing gaps in there. So if you do take an errant shot or an errant blade, you have a lot of possibility of getting into plate separation, getting in behind the plates, where a flexible panel is going to be more readily available to protect your body because it's sitting that much closer to you. And that's important too. And I know, and maintenance on these panels, your shirts are machine washable.
Correct.
And these things, I know this is a waterproof liner on the outside. I am.
You're up on it, man. You are.
All right. You got a waterproof panel on this thing, and you want to have it be cleaned with a non-abrasive detergent.
Exactly. Just wipe it down with a damp rag, not wet. Don't run it under water. Just a damp rag if you want to put a little, like you said, some soap or something light. Just something light to wipe over to get your sweat off of it, basically, is what you're doing. And then you're going to take the panels. The panels fit inside the shirt. So you're going to remove the panels once you've worn it. And then you're going to be able to take the panels out, throw the shirt in the washer, and then lay it out to dry.
Now, you sell the shirts independently too?
We do.
That too. So you can have a conglomeration of shirts so that you always have one at the ready. So
that is correct.
If you leave one in the washer, well, you don't want to go out unprotected.
Right.
So you're able to buy a couple of shirts if need be.
So basically what I say, Frank, is if you've got a guy, say, doing church security, he might be wearing it once or twice a week. One shirt's okay. You got a guy that's doing full security, executive protection, EMT, whatever, that's using it more often, then yes, they'll have generally about three shirts.
Right. And the shirts color-wise right now
are white.
They're white.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, white. And also, Mike, if you've got, I was gonna say, Mike, if you have access to your computer, you can look us up on MaverickTactical.com, and you can pull that concealable shirt up and take a look at that. I don't have one in front of me here.
But one question I have, I was going to ask while Frank's bringing up, is do you have sizes for young kids or teens and or women? I know sometimes, depending on who the manufacturers, they make it a little bit different, or they do also provide for children up to certain ages. What about you guys?
That is definitely, that is something that we have looked at doing is doing like more of like for teens or something, you know, more children related. At this point, we have not done that. It starts at small. A small, you know, is going to be, I think we've got it on the website exactly what the small fits, but it's going to be a smaller man or woman, all the way up to 3X. Now, I will say this: a lot of times, people, if you're wearing what I say is, if you're wearing a t-shirt that's not a tight t-shirt, just your regular t-shirt. If you were to go to a concert and order a t-shirt, what would you order? A lot of times I'll say, whatever you would order in that, go one size lower, because it is a compression shirt. So it's going to be, you want it to be a little tight on you. You don't want the panels moving around, so you don't want it real loose. So if you're wearing a lot of people say, well, I'm a 4XL. Well, if you're 4XL, generally a 3XL in our shirt's going to fit a 4XL guy.
And if anybody's ever ridden a motorcycle in just a t-shirt, you know that you have slapback. And if you know what slapback is, when you're riding on a motorcycle and the air gets in between you and your shirt and it vibrates at 6,000 RPMs and you get off, and it beats the ever-loving crap out of you. The same thing is going to happen if you've got a protective shirt like this and it's not fitted properly to you. Those gaps are going to feel a little uncomfortable to you. So you want to make sure that it's fitted right.
Yeah.
It's got to be fitted snug. Plus, it's also adding to its protective ability by being fitted properly.
And then also, if you order online with us and you get one that's too big, send it back to us. We'll send you the right size. We'll get you fit right. A couple things that we did change on this shirt, Frank, if you want me to discuss that.
Yeah, please do.
So you've got it actually pulled up here that we're looking at. Some of the things that we did, we went from black to white. We had a lot of requests of white for the color, so we went to white on this one. The second thing that we ended up doing was we actually made the length of it a little bit longer. So for tuckability, we found that the other one's a little bit shorter. It was coming out of your tucking, and it was kind of annoying sometimes when it came out. So we made this one about 4 inches longer, so you got more tuckability in here. One of the main things that we did, though, was that on our Gen 1, we didn't have any type of zipper or any way to let this spandex to be loosened a little bit. So you're literally like pulling up. If you're a 2X and you're trying to put an XL shirt on spandex, it's a little bit harder to get over your shoulders and head. Yeah. You look funny putting it on, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So it's like, if you've ever tried to put on a scuba suit without the asset of Dawn dishwashing soap,
there you go.
You know what it's. I mean, and plus I have a really bad shoulder. So anytime I'm bringing something over my head and over my shoulder, it hurts, and I have to have somebody help me get it in there. Having a shirt that's got a little bit of relief that allows you to get it on more easily makes a huge difference, because it's the same thing like when we talk about firearms, and we talk about one of the things that I talk about with people when they go to select the firearm that they like is, don't necessarily worry about how accurate you are with the firearm that you get, because you could always train to be more accurate. And it's important that you train anyway. So having a gun that you're not as accurate with is actually pretty good, because it's going to force you to train more. But if you have a gun that you can shoot the tail off a mouse at 100 feet away, but it's not comfortable in your hand, and you don't like the way it feels when you shoot, you're never going to carry that gun. You're never going to use that gun. If you don't have something on you that's comfortable to wear, it's not an asset, it's a liability.
That's right.
Because you spent money on something you're not going to use, and it's going to give you false sense of mind. You're going to say, well, I wore it for 3 weeks, nothing happened, do I really need to wear it? It's kind of uncomfortable, screw it, I'll leave it on. The fourth week is the week that shit hits the fan. But if you've got something that's comfortable and reliable, you're going to make it a part of your daily routine or your work routine. You're going to make sure that you're going to wear it consistently. And consistency is the key to safety. Right. Everything that you do is repetitive. It's body memory. It's muscle memory. You know, so for me to be wrestling with something on over my, I mean, I know how frustrated I get when my friggin' audio video cables don't work right. I mean, you know how many guys I know on the job? They don't wear a vest because they can't find one that fits them.
That's crazy.
And I told them, you got to think about wearing a an undershirt, some
Yeah.
some level of
Some
protection.
form.
It's not even a matter of, and this is not even saying, oh, this is the minimal protection that you should have. This is not minimal protection. This is amazing protection.
It's amazing when we talk to some police officers what they are actually wearing, Frank. They're like 2A, like this 9mm, like that's it. 9mm protection, nothing more than that.
People think that playing the odds, or being in their favor is going to make the difference between life and death. You might get shot at one day out of 1,000. But the one day you're getting shot at 100% of that day.
Yep.
That day is the one day where getting shot at is 100%.
Right.
And you got to protect yourself to the best ability of it. Don't play the odds when it comes to your life. You got to be safe. You got to be secure. And it's always the same thing. The guy who flies out the windshield and he hits a tree in his car is the one day he forgot to put a seatbelt on.
Yep.
It's always going to be that one time when it happens. And you can't wind back the clock. And for $419, to come out, and this is an amazing amount of insurance, an amazing amount of protection that you can get for yourself from an American company, family-owned, family-operated in North Carolina. They stand behind it. Your life is worth at least that much. If you get a $1,000 gun and no way to protect yourself, you can see what's coming at you, but can you see behind you?
So insurance. You said insurance. That's what I tell people. I'm an insurance salesman. This is 100% what this is. We hope you never need it.
Yeah.
But if you need it, you've got it. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right? So that was the other thing. And it's been unbelievable. Yeah, and it's been unbelievable the amount of people we've talked to at this show of the escalating crime that we're hearing about. Whether it's here in Houston, back home in North Carolina, it's all over. And we see it more and more.
It's an insane world that we live in. It's sad that this is the line of work that you have to be in.
Exactly.
But thank God somebody like you is in this line of work, because there are a lot of companies out there that just dump product out onto the market that is not going to stand up, because they know they're doing the same thing the guy who doesn't have the best is.
Right.
They're playing the odds.
Right.
They're saying the likelihood of one of our customers actually needing our product is 1 out of 50,000.
Yeah.
And they've already made enough money on that 50,000 sale that when that one product doesn't work, there's 1,000 ways they can come up with an excuse for why it didn't.
So one of the things too that we do online on our website, we do publish our testing. All of our testing's done from U.S. Element Space and Defense out of Chesapeake, Maryland. They are one of 7 NIJ recognized labs in the United States. All of our testing data is online under the product that you're viewing. Scroll down, you'll be able to see the testing data from that. So yes, we do not take this lightly. This is something we do. It's life-saving protection. I'm glad we do it. I love it. Glad we do it, and glad we're able to help potentially save lives.
Right.
And in this industry that we're here today and at the NRA, this show this weekend, a lot of companies are on the offensive side. That's fine. That's cool. It's what they do. I'm glad that we're on the defensive side.
Right. Well,
personally.
Well, like you speak defensively on, every time I have people come in, I get the handgun lesson or something like that. I remind them, your handgun gets you to your rifle. Your handgun is not an offensive tool; it's a defensive tool. Your rifle is your offensive tool. You need your handgun to get you to your rifle.
Gotcha.
So this is, so many people train offensively, or they think they're training offensively, that they don't give any quarter at all to what's going to happen when they have to think defensively. How many people understand the difference between cover and concealment? How many people can return fire from adverse positions, from laying on their back, laying on the floor, falling backwards and you repel, an advancing threat? If you can't do any of those things, you have to have something else that's going to help fill the gap that your training or your lack of physical mobility. Like me, listen, I'm trained up the wazoo. I can do a million things. I can't twist my back. I can only turn my neck to one side. I can't put any weight on my knee if I kneel down. There's 1,000 tactical situations I can teach, but I can't do. So I have to adapt my life around to what my physical limitations are. And because I have to do that, there are certain voids in my defensive practices that I have to put myself in. And I don't give a shit how much muscle mass you pack on. You ain't bulletproof. You can't defend against the bullet unless you have something that's going to be there to absorb it for you.
The people that we talk to, Frank, that have firearms, we talk to people in this atmosphere that we're in all the time. People got 30, 40, 50 guns, whatever, even more, right? I tell people, if you think you're going to have to use that gun against somebody, guess what? They're going to have something against you.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to have to shoot at somebody, they're going to be shooting back. And you need something to protect you from that. That's the bottom line.
And like you said, your product is affordable enough, accessible enough, and comfortable enough to make it part of a daily routine. And listen, if you've got a spouse, people don't really think about it, but supermarkets are becoming more dangerous. Gas stations are becoming more dangerous. The world is becoming more dangerous. So even if you have a spouse that works in a questionable environment or has to ride public transportation or has to do anything where they're exposed, and especially if they're prevented from the ability to protect themselves, you might want to take the minute and do some investing and get them protected where if you're not there to protect them and they can't protect themselves, give them one additional level of something that gives them the ability to make it home. And that's, you only get one shot at it. But, Vass, any other questions?
No. I apologize. I just got to step away for a little while, for like half an hour or so. No, I found the product. I'm glad I saw it, because what I usually wear is pretty bulky and heavy. And I've always been looking for something. When you're covering politics, you're out in crowds, you need something that's a little bit less obvious. And because sometimes when they can see that you're carrying the body armor, then they target you for that body armor.
Well, Vass always finds himself, for lack of a better term, behind enemy lines. And because he's coming as a reporting agent from, he's the dragon of the southern tier because he has his conservative viewpoints, but his conservative viewpoints are based in fact. So a lot of times when he's going and he's approaching people who are at protests or rallies or whatever the hell they're complaining about with their purple hair, he's asking them questions that are very neutral in nature. He's not asking gotcha questions or anything else like that. He's saying, explain your position. Simple. And how does your position counteract this fact?
Right.
That sadly, it opens them up to attack it. We see a lot of the people, independent journalists all around the country, are being attacked regularly, especially conservative journalists are being attacked regularly, viciously by people. And if they know you've got body armor on it, they're going to go for something where they know the body armor ain't.
Yeah, and
you look for the weak point.
Yeah, and I've literally been on
this right here
where people are going, there he is, and they point me out, and if they're seeing the body armor, it makes things a lot more complicated than when I can wear it more concealed, like your product to provide,
right?
Which makes my life a lot easier.
And Bass, like this shirt, I see the shirt you're wearing now. That's a perfect shirt for concealability. Something that's going to break up the lines a little bit. I mean, it possibly will print a little bit, but it's going to be very little. And then any print, like same thing, Frank, like what you're wearing. You get a print.
Yeah, once you have something that breaks up the lines, a solid shirt is going to show a little bit more where it print fools the eye.
That's right,
exactly. And everything. Now, I'm going to ask you one last question, and this is a question I ask every body armor manufacturer because this is a lesson I learned back in 1981 when they mandated body armor for the NYPD. My father came home with his police vest. They put it on the table, and he says, there's only one problem with that. And I said, what's that? He took a hypodermic needle and pushed it right through.
Right.
That's the one product. Not getting attacked by a hypodermic needle is going to be very hard for somebody to get penetration, put a plunger in because the needle itself is so thin, it's going to snap before it actually does anything. But how do we stand up against knives?
So the soft armor is very stab resistant. I cannot sit here and tell you, Frank, and I'm not going to tell you that it's stab proof.
Right.
It's not stab proof. It is very slash and stab resistant. Very. And I can say very, very, I don't know how many varies I can say, but it's very, very stab resistant and slash resistant.
And there's not really a lot of testing data that you can use on that because of the fact that blades come in such a variety of shapes, variety of sharpnesses, are going to be used by people with a variety of skill and strength.
Correct.
Whereas a 9mm round, you're going to have, what's your difference? You're going to have hollow point, you're going to have FMJ,
right.
and they're all traveling at 1,300 feet per second,
right.
regardless if it's 50 feet away or 10 feet
That's
away.
right. Yep.
The vest is still going to do its job. Knives is going to be so many variables.
That's right.
There's no way to adequately test to find out what the veracity of stability with these is going to be.
There's many layers of ballistic material in here. It's really very adequate for knives, but it is not stab proof.
Right.
So,
but it's going to give you so much more protection than you would have without.
But we had a testimonial from a guy. I can't tell you 100% that it was true. He told us this. We were at a show like this. He came up to me and said, "Thank you for saving my life." And I said, "Oh, tell me your story." He said, "It was an ATM machine. Guy came up from behind me, stabbed me in the back. It did not penetrate. He stabbed me. I turned around, pulled my conceal. He was in the appendix carry. He said he turned around and shot the guy. And so the guy died, and that armor saved his life." That's what he told me. It's a story he told me. So that's the story on knives right there.
Oh, so I noticed that this one is manufactured on April 10th, 2026. You guys always bring fresh, fresh material to the shop. The last time that we had one of these shows, I was over in your booth. You had one that came in 2 days before. It was manufactured 2 days before the show was started. And I was like, man, I thought to myself, you guys must be moving a good number of these things because they don't have no old stock.
I hear you. Yeah. We don't. We're a smaller company in comparison to some of the bigger names that you know out there. So when we pump out, it's pretty much we're rolling with it. Yeah.
It's great. And like I said, as a fellow entrepreneur, so to speak, I always love the American success story, the American family business. I think that's the hub of the heart of America, and I am so proud of what you and your wife and your son are able to put together over there.
I appreciate that.
And the fact that you are doing the work that needs to be done.
Awesome.
And, you know, it's like you said, it's not always offensive. Body armor is not sexy.
Right.
By definition.
Right.
You know, I don't see Terran Tactical having all his girls running around
right.
modeling their body armor and stuff and doing their pirouettes while they shoot stuff.
Right.
You know, this is utility.
It is.
But you've made it. You've made it right.
It is hard for us to get through to a lot of people that don't comprehend the fact that you need it. Most people just think that, oh, body armor, that's a military thing, right? They don't see the everyday. Put in a backpack. That's what I tell people. Here's the other thing, it's Vascon. I was going to tell Vas, I tell you. The other thing I tell people, okay, let's say you buy one of these shirts. You get a front, a back, and two sides. The back panel, put in the backpack. If you're not wearing the shirt, say, well, I'm not wearing the shirt today, so I'll take that back panel, throw it in the backpack. Now you got a backpack armor.
You got a kid going to school on a bus.
Backpack armor.
Throw it in the backpack. They have armored backpacks that are designed for it, but I don't think they're designed for this level of quality and this level of resistance. And the fact is, kids are generally smaller, but the backpack is bigger than they are.
Correct.
Something like this behind a child, or even if the kids wear it on the front, is going to give them a lot more coverage, and your kids are worth it.
Yep, absolutely so.
All right. We're going to wrap it up because we ran 35 minutes long.
Oh,
no, but that was fun. I wanted to do an extended show today.
Cool.
And when I knew you were coming over, I saw you. I was like, there we go.
Awesome.
We got it.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm going to put that there. Patrick, do me a favor. Tell everybody one more time. That's MaverickTactical.com.
That's correct.
And that's the website. They can get you guys over there.
We do have YouTube. We do YouTube videos. Check us out, Maverick Tactical on YouTube.
All right, awesome. When I publish the rebroadcast of this, I'll put the links down below so they'll be able to find you. We encourage everybody to make sure that you subscribe and follow those guys as well. Set the alerts because, you know, every time they put out a new video, they're going to have a new product.
Right.
You want to get notified about it. Don't just let it get lost in the subscription column like you guys let my show go. Give these guys the alerts.
Also, if you're in North Carolina, or if you're coming through, we're on 8540 Central North Carolina between Raleigh and Greensboro. So we're in Burlington, North Carolina. If you're coming 8540, we're literally 5 minutes off the highway 8540 in Burlington, North Carolina. So if you're able to come through there, that's our physical store. I'll even open the door and walk you back and show you where we make it.
And I'm going to say it again. This is, I'm shutting his mic off. This is my words, not his. For all my friends who live up in New York who are restricted from getting stuff, come and visit me. I'm going to take you on a road trip. I'm going to bring you someplace where we can do a little shopping, and nobody has to know about it. He's not allowed to tell you that.
That's right.
All
right,
Frank, brother.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate, love you guys
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me.
Tell your wife that was the best hug I had all birthday.
She's a good lady.
Yeah, 'cause that was my birthday when she gave me a hug.
Oh,
And
okay.
I wasn't home for my birthday,
Oh, there you
so
go.
that was that. I got good people here. All right, folks, listen, this is Frank Johnson, your Range Gear Goomba, talking to you. You guys be safe, shoot straight. We'll catch you next time. Oh, and listen, thank you to Michael Vasquez. Catch him on No Sound Belts Allowed over there on YouTube. And check him out. He's got the best media analyzing show on the market today. So you guys check him out. We'll catch you one more day tomorrow. As some guy just ripped my camera off the mount, but he said he was sorry, so it's okay. No, it's all right. It's a durable camera. All right, so that's why I had to move everything back.
I got you.
All right, so we'll catch you guys later. Be safe, shoot straight.